Wow, where do I, oh, DX call, I put it in there,
Yeah, just underneath there.
If I could
right?
interrupt just for a second, guys.
Sure.
This is the Southwest Florida TechNet. We're now broadcasting live on YouTube. If you don't want your likeness on YouTube going out around the world, then what I
DX call, I put it in there,
Yeah, just underneath there.
If I could interrupt just for a second, guys.
sure.
This is the Southwest Florida TechNet. We're now broadcasting live on YouTube. Okay, hold on just a second here. I'm having an issue. Okay, there we go. Okay, I kept hearing back the show like over and over and over again.
Yeah, me
I hate
too.
that.
Me
Yeah. So
too.
anyway, all right. So anyway, give me just a second. I'm gonna let you guys finish up because this is good stuff. This is the Southwest Florida TechNet, and as always, we're trying to help people get it going. And tonight, we're going to be helping me get it going. I have bought me a Signal Link, and tonight we're going to be using the magic of multiple cameras to both work on the Signal Link box and show you how I put the jumpers in and how it hooks up. But then I'm going to need your help because I have the owner's manual right here for this thing, and I have the owner's manual over here on the share screen, and I am unable to get my radio to work with this thing. And so I'm hoping that maybe you guys can help me tonight. You guys are a lot. Some of you guys are a lot smarter than I am. Probably most of you. So, and most of you have been doing this a lot longer, and most of you already have a Signal Link USB or some kind of box like this. And maybe you guys can help me get it going. Um, Normally, I'm trying to connect people to help them get going. I need the help tonight. So tonight is tonight's a little different. But before we do that, this is the Southwest Florida TechNet. My name's Ian. My co-host will probably be stopping by in a little while. And That's Joseph, KM4OVZ. I am KO4EFS. And this is the Southwest Florida TechNet. And for the next 2 to 3 hours, we're going to be exploring connecting your computer to your internet. But before we get into that, I want to let these guys finish up. They're trying to work on a little issue with FT8. So you guys go ahead and finish up. It's good stuff, and we're all interested. So go ahead and finish that up. And then when you get done, we're going to go ahead and see if we can get my Signal Link going.
Okay, can you let me share, Ian?
Yes, please.
That'll make it a lot easier.
Yeah, sharing is on. I normally always
Okay,
leave it on.
can you all see
Yep.
my FT8?
Yep.
Except
Okay.
I broke my computer somehow. Everything's a small screen. I got to figure out what I did. There we go. All right. Now it's no longer a postage stamp in the corner of the
Oh my
screen.
gosh.
Okay, you're good to go then. Okay, now one of the things you're saying about being boring, one of the things you can eliminate for being boring, I'll show you that if you can see the top of the screen, you can see my mouse. Right, so I'm going to move, you see the transmit is over a weak signal. I'm going to move it to there, and that's a clear spot. Now, if you look on the right-hand side, what I like to do is, you see there's a
Do you
JE6.
have your right and left confused?
No?
You said left. You said right, but that's left.
Okay. All right. Well, okay, well, here at the bottom, I'm going to, under band activity,
I think he was talking. It's a metric right.
yes, it's the other right.
Yes.
Okay, so, no, there's an Alaska, look. Now, that's cool. We don't get Alaska very often. Do I need Alaska on 17 meters? No, I don't. But what I was saying about all these are Japanese stations. They're not calling CQ. They're actually in QSOs with these guys. JA, JR, JF, JE, and you can get them. So we'll go for this one because he's quite strong, minus 17. JA7JM. If I double click on there, he automatically jumps over here
Right.
on the right hand side, and I'm calling him. And I've got a clear frequency, so we'll see if I get him or not. But I only see, when I was talking to you, I left that too long. I would normally only leave it 3 because he's going to see that on his screen and he's going to get cheesed off if he sees me.
Now, the last digit is a 7. Oh, because you're on
Yeah, I'm
you're on 17 meters, so it's 7.
No, that's got nothing to do with it. That's a he's using a little offset. He's probably, his time is amiss. You see, if you look here, you can see this here tells you the time. Now, most people are within 0.2 of a second of me. That doesn't mean they're all right. There's one there 0.3 of a second. He may be a little bit off.
Let me quick share. I was going crazy because I was able to populate the left side on FT4 and do contacts and everything. But when I went to FT8, it would not populate.
Did you change the frequency?
Yes, I did everything. What happened was the clock was off, and once I got the clock synchronized on the internet, then FT8 blew up and came alive.
Yeah, well, that's very, very important. The clock, because if you, I switched it off now, but if you look at your screen, if you look at the monitor and it comes up blue, the monitor is on for a very, very, very short time. And that's the only time it's really receiving. The decode, see it comes on blue?
Yes.
No, we don't see because you quit sharing.
Okay, hang on a second. God, this is a tough crowd.
Yes, it is. You don't know your right from your left. You can't. You unshare it, so and then you ask us to look at it.
Yeah, well, I thought he was going to
try hosting and producing.
Okay, so if you look at my decode here with the mouse, you'll see that it flashes really, really quickly. You can change that and make it a little longer, but I wouldn't. I did try that. I was thinking, oh, I'll get better signals, but you don't. So basically, it's looking at that whole spectrum in this little time. But the advantage is, you see, the software knows what it's looking for. It's just not looking for random stuff. It's looking for a set digits. So this guy here, you were saying, was 7. That's probably because his clock is off. Although, what was his course?
Well, what is the time frame? Are you on FT8?
I'm on FT8.
Yeah, it should be 0 and 5, right?
Yeah, it just depends. It should be. See, like I've just switched to zeros. So now I'll be coming up on 5s on here.
And it could be that there was a little bit of interference, and that thing decoded it as a 7, and it was really a 5.
Yeah.
But if you look in the waterfall, you'll see that there's a lot of folks that are right on top of each other.
Right.
Yeah. You see, the band's going away now. It's going long, but it's going away. So we got less calls on here, and we've got less here because you can see this was a whole receiving sequence where if you go back up here, the receiving sequence was much bigger, more stations. So the band's going slightly off. But look at the Japanese stations in there. So what you want to do is look at this figure here. -3 is really good, but that's a US station. I can work up to 22, 23, 21 I could probably work. I'll give him a go. So these are minus dB in signal strength. So a -7 is really good. -10 is pretty good. -21, ooh, that's a little bit questionable. 18 and 19 you should be able to do. But if once you're starting, keep everything between 10 and, less than 15.
Why don't you have your CQ only checked? Are you going to bust in on any of those other ones that are non-CQ?
Oh, yeah, all the time. All the time. That's what I did. This is what I did with this guy.
Oh, okay.
So if you have CQ only, you only see the people that are CQ.
Right.
You see, and here we may not see anybody. I've just clicked it, so you'll see what happens. When this goes, this will run. But no, I work a lot of stations that don't call CQ. I look for when the station, like this one, JA2KAC, is just sent RR73.
Oh, okay.
And I will click on him. I will double click on him and he'll come up. Now, you see, I called K5JA by mistake, but doesn't matter. He's just responded to me. And then he's going to come up. I've just sent him 0. He's allowed station 03. I did that in error. So, yeah, definitely, for me, I always have CQ only off because I like to look to see, here he's just sent me 7.3. And here, this, you can't see that, but that it's gone off to my login program. So yeah, it can be boring, but you can make it not boring by working hard at it. So like this one that we saw earlier on, minus 21. Let me try DAX. I've worked him a few times, but I'll try him again. He's minus 15. So he's not calling CQ. Is he not coming down here? So I'll just double click on him and see what happens. Because when I'm calling him now, it will come up red in his screen here. So he'll know that I'm calling him. He may be working someone else, but he'll know I'm calling him. And then he'll click on it and call me back. And it will go red if he does. And he's a decent signal at minus 15. That's easily workable. I've got pretty good. Oh, look at this. This is interference coming from somewhere. Well, the band's going away. We've got all sorts of problems. But
now, Dave, in the band activity window, do you use the time frame, the dB column, to make your first choice on which user you're going to go for? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I look on here. If it's clean, if the signals are all clean,
yes,
then I'll work as far as minus 22. If it's a really station I really want, I'll try to work a minus 24. But we're pretty good tonight. But now at this time of day, and the band is going off as we can see, I won't expect to work anything more than minus, I don't know, 14, 15, maybe a 16. But now I'll stop because I've called that by a bunch of times, so I'll stop because I don't want to, upset him. But
it's not only that you're upsetting him; is you're just
watching paint dry.
Filling in his screen. I'm just filling up his screen with my call sign, and whoever he's working, or he may be trying to work somebody else. It's just a polite thing, It's like sitting on a. You're sitting on somebody and calling CQ, CQ, CQ. But in this case, you know that he will see you. If he can hear you, it will come up on here. If he can't hear you, there's no point in you keep calling.
And a lot of times, once you call them 3 or 4 times, they'll get back with you. Like, I've called somebody 6 or 7 times, like way far away. I don't call people that many times if they're local, but if they're like on the other side of the Pacific or something, and I'm calling 4 or 5, 6 times, I give up. And then a little while later, they'll call me because they heard me calling. It's just they had a lot of people calling them because they were a unique station or a unique zone or whatever. So I've had that happen a number of times.
Now look what the band is doing. We got a plus 14 here for Hawaii. So I've just called him. That's a cracking signal. I should be able to work in comfortably. Plus 14, you don't see that. He's calling me back straight away. So we've got some kind of pipeline, I guess it's the grey line or something, between us and Hawaii. Because that's a massive signal. You rarely get, you'll get a plus 1 like that one. We got a plus. Oh, that's the same guy. Okay, so for some reason or other, we've got a cracking signal down. This may not work. It might be just a fluke. It could be aircraft scatter or something weird. And I'll see if I can actually get him. See, I'm calling him back, giving him plus 14, and he's not called me.
I've noticed that sometimes you'll get somebody really strong and then it just goes away. Just
goes away. Just like 2 meters, like 6 meters. FT8, because it's not low power, it's low signal. And as I say, for me, I can work down to minus 22, sometimes minus 24. Plus 14 as he is now, he's even a little stronger. I should work him, but you see he's gone away. He's not coming back to me. But there might be 100 other people calling him. But we're partially through the QSO. And like I was saying before, I can work 3 stations at the same time. So I don't have to, if I see another one I want to work, another Hawaii station, say, or a Japanese station, I can click on him and I can work all 3 together, but I just have to keep clicking between each one because FT8 will remember 3 contacts. So it's remembering this contact. I'm going to call this guy. So it's remembered this one. It's now calling this one. So if I click back onto him, wherever that was, it will be again for that call. It will remember 3 calls. So it's not just a case of switching it on and looking at it. And you've got to keep an eye on this to make sure you're not transmitting on top of somebody. So if we went to 20 meters now, this would be, it'll be full. Here we go. He's calling me back, but I'm working the other guy, so I can double click on him and it's come back down to 3. So now I'm working him again.
I think that's called greedy.
No, you can. That's part of software. People don't realize you can work 3 stations at one instant.
Well,
I got to tell you, I've been doing this for a little while now, and a lot of people are starting to work FT4 in the evenings when it gets busy. When I started this a year ago, FT4 was dead. Now, I have improved my antenna and some things too, so there's other reasons. But truthfully, I swear to you, this thing has gotten, FT4 has gotten really busy in the last 6 months. In the last 2 months, it seems like it's growing exponentially. I now sometimes I can go on like 15 meters in the middle of the day. Yeah, there, you got him.
Got him.
I can go 15 meters in the middle of the day, and as soon as it gets so busy that it's hard to find a parking space, I immediately go over to FT4. What you find is FT4 is cool because it's a lot quicker cycle. It's half the time on the cycle, but it's twice the bandwidth, so less people can be on the same frequency. But the neat thing about FT4 is there's not near as many people over there. When I'm calling and calling and calling and calling on FT8, and I can't get people to answer me back because there's so many people broadcasting all on top of each other and all people you don't even see on the other side of the world using the same bandwidth you are, and it causes a problem. When you go over to FT4, it's a much cleaner channel. There's not anybody over there. And so I find my distance is better on FT4 than FT8 on any band I can find people to talk to on. And that's simply because the bandwidth is cleaner. There's not as many people on it in the background.
Yeah. Well, if you look, I'll share this. This is my logbook. It automatically goes in the logbook, and you can see just this evening, I've worked 16 stations, but most of those are Japanese and 1 Hawaiian. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
What program is that?
This is just QRZ. I'll use as my logbook.
Okay.
So
yeah,
and then
when you get Grid Tracker, you put Grid Tracker into your computer, and you interface it with WSJTX. The setup's really simple. We have a show on it. You can go back and watch to show you how to set it up. But Grid Tracker will automatically send your QSOs to, I think, 6 or 8 different logbooks, including QRZ, EQSL, Logbook of the Old Man, Logbook of the World, a bunch of them.
Yeah, there it is.
And 1MM.
HRD.
There's Grid Tracker running.
Yeah, there you go. I love Grid Tracker. I use Grid Tracker all the time. It's got everything on it. It's got a button for your solar information and a button for everything. I strongly suggest if you're going to work at WSJTX, especially if you think it's a little boring and a little two-dimensional, you need Grid Tracker. Grid Tracker actually shows you on a map what's going on in the world on the band that you're on, and it shows your red line with the path that goes to where you're talking to.
Yeah.
And it shows everything, every grid you've worked, every zone you've worked. You can cycle through all the different awards and different things, and they are all displayed on the map. I find Grid Tracker to be absolutely amazing, and a must-have for anyone who's in FT4 and FT8.
Yeah, I agree with that, and I think PSK Reporter as well.
I like, PSK Reporter is a must-have, especially if you're one of these guys that just does 20 and 40 and you're happy. You may not need it as much, but I like to go see what's talking to who. And if I'm wanting to get into Europe, I can go on PSK Reporter, and in 5 minutes I know exactly what's going into Europe. I'll tell you what I do on one screen up here. It's one of my Linux machines. All it does is display a PSK reporter with my call sign in it, and it shows the last 15 minutes that my station has received, which I think is really cool. Then I have another screen that is another PSK reporter, and I set that on the band that I'm working. And then I'll use my main computer to sift through them and see what I want to do next. But I always have at least 2 PSK reporter screens up, one with my call sign and one on my band with all modes and all users. And that way I can see what's going on that band outside of what I'm hearing. That really comes in handy in Magic Band season.
Yeah.
If you're trying to work FT8 Magic Band on 6 meters and 10 meters, you can actually see where the clouds are coming across from east to west. And you can actually see where you need to point your Yagi in order to hit the other side of the curve. It is so amazing. And we're going to do we're going to do a Magic Band show coming up right before Magic Band season in June.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
So Ken, does that answer your questions?
Yes, yeah, I picked up several different things there. Yeah, appreciate it.
We rushed it a little bit, and I hijacked the meeting again. But okay, thanks, Ian.
No, you did exactly what we do here, and that's help each other get going on ham radio. All right, so let's just run through this real quick, and maybe you guys can help me find something I'm missing. I finally got a signal link. You know, one of the things that's been a pain in the butt for me is I've not been able to get WinLink going yet. It's something that is very difficult to get working if you don't have a TNC. And so because I've been unable to get it going, it really is difficult. I'm trying to start a WatchNet. I need to be able to send HF, VHF, and UHF WinLink messages. That's going to be quite critical, I think. So I need to get that up. So I budgeted and bought the Signal Link box, and I have to admit, it's a cute little thing. I thought that I would bring it home, put the jumpers in, plug it in, and everything would be fine. It says I don't need any drivers, that Windows installs the drivers automatically, which it did. And all I can get it to do is briefly transmit and then error out. It will not actually work. So I don't know if you guys have had a similar problem. So I'm going to run through it real quick, and we're going to see if anybody has any suggestions that I can try. But I do want to run you through this for those of you who have never had a Signal Link. When you get your Signal Link box, what you're going to basically do is just take these 4 screws off the front. And I'm going to tell you, when you buy one of these, don't just hook it up. It can actually damage the box or the equipment if it's not jumpered for your radio. Also, without the jumpers in, I don't think it'll work at all anyway. I think you need the jumpers in there in order for it to work at all, because that's the connectivity between the board and the radio.
Right, the push to talk won't work. There's no audio connected to anything, because that's what those jumpers are doing.
Yep.
Somewhere in the instructions, it shows you which pins on the lower numbers of that IC socket are your audio connections that you have to jumper over.
All right.
What radio are you hooking it to?
Okay, we're going to be hooking it to an FT100, a Yaesu FT100.
Excuse me.
Does it have a 6-pin connector in the back?
Yes, it does. It has the RTTY digital jack on the back, and that's what it says in the directions for the Signal Link. That's what I'm supposed to hook it up to. It's not hooked up to the one that I had hooked up before. I have a USB that hooks up to the other pigtail that goes into my computer, and it gives me rig control. But it doesn't do audio, and it doesn't have a sound card. I have to do all that separately. So what I want to do is do it all with this one thing. So you pull this out. Basically, this just slides right out of the housing. It just slides right out of the housing. And then you see the jumper wires there. No real big deal here. It's not rocket science. Is it going to even resolve to the point where you can see this? It says on here the jumpers that you have to have. There, I'll put them right there. That's the jumpers that you need to have, and you can see there what they're for. I've got the jumpers in correctly. I've checked them probably 10 times. So I think we're going to skip over checking my work with the jumpers because I think we're pretty good with the jumpers. I even pulled them out and put them back in one time. So, but anyway, that's all you have to do inside of here is just do that. How many of you guys have Signal Link? Is there a lot of you guys that already use one of these? I see a few people. Okay, so this is kind of. I went looking. I like to see what the industry standard is. What are the ones that everybody buys? And this is it. This seems to be the one that is the most common radio interface in the ham radio business, if it were a business. So once you put your jumpers in, you throw it back in, and you screw it back together. And that's the problem is you got to get it right in the exact right rail, or it doesn't fit. There we go. And the screws
You're
go
supposed
back
to
in.
mark that rail with your Sharpie so you know how to do that again the next time. You don't have
There you go.
1 2 high, 1 2 low, 1 2 high, 1 2 low. Which one is it?
Yeah, my wife asked me, she goes, I don't buy anything where the directions start with first, take apart what you just bought.
Yes.
I said,
See,
well, that's ham radio. I'm not going to put, I'm just going to put.
They could have made that to where that little jack was on the bottom of the circuit board, and they could have made it to where you just open up the bottom cover, like, kind of like a little battery compartment. You take off that, and then you have that. And they tout having by those little circuit boards that are pre-wired, so you can't mess it up. It needs to have a place inside that box to store those. Because if you're cheap and you don't want to buy one of these $120 doolollies for every radio you have, you buy one and then you buy the little modules for your 5 other radios. Now I am so blessed that all of my radios use the same little module.
Yeah, luckily the FT100 uses one that works on most ICOMs, most Yaesus, and some other radios actually. So mine's a very common one. We probably have the same jumper setup.
Right. Well, see, I haven't bought the Signal Link yet because all my ham radio buddies in Texas, this thing is a kit that's about half the price and does everything without having to futz around with those TX, RX, and delay controls. You set it once and basically forget it.
That's another thing they don't do in ham radio. Set it and forget it. Okay, let's see here. All right, so the jumpers are in properly. I know that.
Which Signal Link did you buy? Did you buy the new one, or is that the older model?
I have no idea. I bought this from what's the big
ham radio outlet?
It's one of those. Yeah, I think that's who it was. Yeah, that's who it was.
What price did you pay?
$129. I got it through Amazon.
Okay, you got the older model. The new model has a different audio transformer in it, which allows you to do what's that new mode? Oh golly, I can't remember. Anyway, a new digital mode that we use with WinLink, and I'll think of it as soon as I quit talking.
Yeah, is it Winmore or not Winmore? I know what you're talking about. And I can't think
Vara.
of the name. Vara.
Yeah.
Yes.
Vara.
Yeah, VAR FM. VAR FM needs the new model, which they built for that.
That's cool. Well, as long as I can send and receive them, I'm good. I know that Vara is a lot faster, but as long as I can send them and receive them, I'm good. Okay. Anyway.
Okay.
So we've got it hooked up, and I went ahead and I plugged the USB port into the computer, and I plugged the other end of the Ethernet plug here. Has the serial port, the 6-pin. It's 6 pins with like a little square black box in there. That's what this pin looks like. It is the digital mode operation. Let me see if it says what it is. Um, the terminal node controller that you hook it up to the rear panel's data jack is what it says. So this goes to the data jack on the back of the FT100. Now,
Okay, now, did you find out what COM port you're using for your USB?
yes, every time I hook it up, it's a different one, but you can tell which one it is. Yeah.
Yeah, with my FL Digi, I used COM port 3 with my signaling.
Right. And we're going to get into that in just a minute because once we get into the computer. But I'm going to go ahead right now and hook up the radio first because it gets. By the way, these get their power from the computer, not the radio. You can actually get a little bit of power from this plug, but they do not use radio power. They're very worried about messing up your radio. So you plug in the radio first, and then the last thing you plug in is the USB because that's what actually powers the unit. Okay, we plug it in there. I've got the levels just zeroed out for right now because I don't know what they're going to be set at. And then we're ready to go.
Okay, don't unplug the radio.
Okay.
No, that was the USB. Okay, you've unplugged all of it. Okay, because what you want to do is make sure your radio is set for operation from a digital source or a signal link. Now, sometimes
that I think is my problem. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Now,
that's the
sometimes
problem.
I don't know your radio, but I know it's menu driven, and somewhere in there is going to be a menu item that says get your audio from somewhere different than the front mic socket. So I'm kind of trying to Google as I'm talking. So normally
This is from the actual manual for my radio, offline, of course, but this is my operating manual. When you look up my radio, it's FT-100, not the 100D. There is some subtle differences between the two, and I believe some of those subtle differences affect here. So I want to make sure if you're looking up my radio, it's the FT-100.
Okay, so you've got a different community. The menu provides for digital. Okay, RTT radio operator, connect your. Okay, so you've got to select the digital mode. So it doesn't actually tell you how to do that.
I know. It does in a way, and I'll show you here. I've got it right here on the radio. You hold down mode when you're in AM. If you hold down mode, it puts you in digital mode. I believe that's what that means.
And you've got to use TX audio as per instructions on page 20. 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12. I've got a manual here, but I don't know if it's the right one. No, absolutely not. Okay. Let me read this. Key is needed to select digital mode. The digital icon will appear on display. If AM appears, the mode selection instead of digital, press the mode key for alpha second. Press and hold the function key for alpha and X. Select menu 34. Okay, have you done that? 34 and made it AS. I got a list of menu items here somewhere.
34.
Yeah.
It's set for F. I did that already. I think that's what it's supposed to be set for is F. Yeah. It's hard to read.
Okay, you've got 4 options. So you've got default, you've got RTTY-L, RTTY-U, PCTL, PCTU, and PC. So you've got 5 options. AFK mode. What does it say there? Rotate the dial. LSB mode. Okay, so you want to set item menu 34 to RTTYU.
To you.
RTTYU. That's upper sideband.
Okay.
Okay.
And then menu 35.
Yeah, menu 35
It's set at
is the shift
170.
frequency. Yeah, you don't want any of the high ones, so the 170 will be fine. The offset should be normal.
Well, it's on car and it says the default is NOR.
That's fine. Car?
Yeah, I guess I should go back and put it on the default.
No, you don't want it on car. You
Okay,
just
maybe
want it
that
on,
was the problem.
you want it just on NOR. NOR.
Okay.
Oh, hang on. Car is USB. We might have to play with that one. Yeah, try leaving it on car.
Okay, back on car. Okay, got it.
Now, the packet rate, which is 37, it doesn't mention 37, does it? No, you want to adjust your packet rate to match the baud rate that you're setting in Windows for your USB device.
Oh, okay. Well, we're going to have to check that.
So you've got
Yeah,
9600 is pretty standard. You should be able to work at that.
right. I know 1200 is pretty slow. I don't want to leave it at that if we can help it.
Well, FT8's pretty slow, so. But no, 9600. And if you go to the USB, go to, I'm not a Windows man, but if you go to, you know where to go. Settings, US.
Right, and we'll do that next. We're going to do that next. I can actually dial into the computer that we're hooked to, and we're going to work that side of it too.
Yeah, okay, but do all that before you plug the device in.
Okay.
Plugging it in is the last thing to do, because if you try to make some of these settings, I've got other Yaesu radios, and I know that if you try to make settings whilst it's plugged in, although it appears to do it, it won't do it. And then the other good thing to do is once you've got all the settings in, is actually switch it off and switch it back on again. And I'm not quite sure why that works either, but it does. Because the other thing is that you need to set is the USB mic gain. And whether you're using the mic from the front or the back. But you're not, because you've gone into digital mode, so you're good. Digital mode is good, so that takes the microphone out of the sequence. And
But Dave, he needs to go into the sound settings in order to set the gain.
On the rig?
No, in Windows.
Oh yeah, we haven't done Windows yet. We're still working on the rig. On the radio. I think we're good on the radio now. Oh, carrier point. Okay, no, we don't need any of those. I'm just trying to see whether you have to...
All right, here's the system. And I'm going to put us just on the main screen here. This is Chrome Remote Desktop. I really like it. But I'm going to select just the main screen. And we're going to go into sound settings. All right, here we go.
Okay, you need to load up a codec.
Oh, I do.
I think so. Somebody more familiar with Windows. I'm not a big Windows user. I'm a Mac user, but I'm pretty sure you need a codec. Because
I use USB codec for my signal link.
Yeah.
Yes, but that should be a pull-down menu where it has that little caret.
Well, try it.
Speaker USB audio device. You should be able to click on that and select whatever else has been plugged in.
No, you
Right.
haven't got anything
Well,
else.
I don't have it. It's not plugged in right now.
No, that's
so
the problem. You've only got speaker. So you need to
I haven't got it plugged in right now.
go to the Yaesu website, because Yaesu have got, let me just get it for you.
Well, once you plug it in and it makes that
It'll
time,
see you.
it'll that it's made the connection, and it recognizes there's a USB device. Then you'll be able to change it to Kodak.
Yeah, I mean, with it unplugged, it's not going to come up.
Right.
No.
No,
Right.
But you should still have the driver available.
right, but Dallas is right. You got to go to Yaesu and download the codecs.
Yeah,
And then they will appear when you go ahead and plug it.
yeah.
Oh, Windows already found that for you, because they use a Superman.
Yeah.
That the,
According to the paperwork, it says to just plug it into the computer and Windows will find the driver. And that's what I did, and that's what it did, I thought.
yes,
But then, like I said, it didn't work.
whoever they are.
We see your mouth moving, but we don't hear you.
All right. Am I talking now? Can you hear me?
I got you now.
All right. I didn't know I had my thing muted. It got.
I do think you need a Kodak, because
I think if he plugs the USB into the signal link, it'll recognize it as there and it'll show up in his selection.
all right, give it a try.
Because when you plug it in, it'll make the noise that you plugged in something, and it when you go back to your devices, it'll tell you if it's working properly or not.
For some reason or other, mine show up even if I've got nothing plugged in.
And that's on a Windows box.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
I
I've
agree,
got,
Dave. I agree.
yeah. But I use,
Now it comes up.
yeah, there you go.
There it is.
There
Click
it
on
is.
that one.
So what I do is I go here.
Well, you need to go back one,
Yes.
because you also need to switch your microphone
Right.
to Kodak.
No, I don't want. Well, I don't want to do that though, because I'm all I want on Kodak is just the WSJTX program. I want everything else to still use the regular speakers.
Yeah, but
You
you
gotta
can't.
select the microphone to Kodak for it to tell it to transmit.
Yeah, because otherwise the computer won't be telling it to transmit. Because it uses Vox to transmit. So you need the microphone to be Kodak as well.
Yeah, but this is the default microphone. That's why I told you I go into here and I set it directly here. You can, like when I load WJSTX, it'll come up here and I'll tell WJSTX to use specifically that sound card, and I'll leave the default set for the other sound
Oh,
card.
okay, yeah, of course. All right, yeah.
So that's how I get around that.
As long as you remember to do it.
Yeah, well, once I load WJSTX and I set it, it stays set.
But it's not working for you, so why don't you try using Kodak?
That's telling you.
Okay, so you want me to assign everything on the computer to go through the radio?
No, if you're working a program, you want it to talk to the the signal link, and the signal link talks to the radio.
Yeah, but what Ian's
Exactly,
saying.
that's what I'm setting it right here. See, it's set to audio codec. It's
Yeah.
set to audio codec.
Yeah, he's
But
doing it. Yeah.
My defaults are set to audio, USB audio, which is my other sound card, because I want to get my alerts from, and I don't want my default sounds and stuff going over the radio. So I set nothing to that except just that one program, and then everything else stays on default. And my default.
But you still on WSJTX, you've still got speakers selected. You need to change that to codec. Codec.
That's the only solution, the only one they give me right there.
Oh, okay.
It says audio codec.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, you're right. Okay.
And then my default is set to the other one.
Yeah.
Basically. So that's the way I've always had it set up before with the other sound cards, and it worked.
Yeah.
If I set this up here to the signal link, then all my Windows default sounds and all my alerts and everything are going to get transmitted over the radio, and I don't want that.
No. Yeah, you're right.
Okay, so but we'll revisit this if we can't get it working. I'm not saying anything. I mean, you guys know a lot more about this than me. I'm just trying to figure it out. But that's that. So I don't think the sound card's the problem. It's the rig control is the problem. When we get into
Well, you won't have any rig control. You know that the signal link doesn't give you rig control. It's only a sound card.
okay, that's not
Rig control is a separate deal.
that's
Yeah.
not what it said there, but that's okay. If that's
Yeah, no, because it gives you rig control as far as transmit and receive by using Vox.
well,
but
then
it
I'm
does
gonna go, then I need to go back and use my regular rig control cable again.
Yeah, you.
Yeah, that's a secondary thing. Because that's why a rig blaster is kind of better.
I kind of feel like I got took to the bank because I thought this did everything.
No.
That's the way I understood what I read. This is the complete interface between the radio and the computer. Now I still need to use my old rig interface and this box.
Yeah,
It's
it's just a sound.
It's just as much crap as I had before.
Yeah, signal link is just a USB. So signal link is just a sound card. It's not a it's not a digital interface as far as rig control is concerned. It won't change frequency for you. It won't, as far as I know anyway. I mean, I've got one. And it doesn't do anything. It's not like having the USB from your rig. You need like a rig blaster or something like that, which I think, didn't Dallas mention one of those earlier?
I don't know. I got sidetracked with working on. Oh, I have Joel on block. I didn't know that. I got sidetracked on working on another project. I'm trying to build a gamma match for a beam.
Oh, cool. Me too, on 77s. We'll talk about that later. So,
Let's do.
yeah, the signal link will, as far as I am aware anyway, and mine certainly does that, it will only work as a...
All right. Well, I've hooked
a
my rig
Vox.
control back up. Now I got to Now I got to go back and figure out how to get that working again.
So your rig control doesn't have a sound card with it?
No, it's just a cable.
Well, don't worry about the rig control for a minute. Leave it on Vox, because you'll get transmit and receive. You just have to manually tune, and the bandwidth is enough on FT8 that you can leave it, set to an 100 or whatever band you're going to use now.
But now that we're talking about FT8, I thought you bought this box so that you could do WinLink.
I bought this box so I can do everything.
Okay, well, if you're going to be doing WinLink, you're going to want to do VARA, because that's the number one thing everybody is using to pass WinLink traffic. And if you got the old box, it's limited. You don't get the full bandwidth. So if you buy the full package of VARA, you're going to wish that you'd have spent the extra dollars to get.
Yeah, I'm not going to worry about that. To be honest with you, you got what you guys are telling me is I got taken to the cleaners. I bought a piece of crap that doesn't do what I think it did, and now you're telling me it doesn't even do the WinLink that well. So I think I'm just going to send it back. That's why I bought it through Amazon.
How much the other one is, and I don't know which one. When you buy it through Amazon, you may have gotten the right one.
Well, it doesn't say new box or old box anywhere on it. I don't know.
The other one's about $10.
I don't know why
more.
this stuff has to be so God blessed cryptic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Things change. Didn't know that
It's an SLU-SB.
SL. What's this? That's what
All right, Rick, your radio in the background is drowning us all out.
Talk about that?
Well, I don't know what
I think it was your radio was somehow doing that. I don't know.
Okay, so the audio's already set on, both of those are already set properly. So, even without rig control, I still should be seeing something here.
Yeah, well, what you got to don't forget you
But I
turn
gotta
down.
turn it up. Yeah.
You got to put both of them at 50%, basically vertical.
Well,
And after
I'm not producing a waterfall. I know why. I know why, because it keeps asking me to fix the rig control problem. And I've screwed up all my settings now, so I'll never get it back. It took me forever to get this rig control working, and now I'm gonna have to start over again. I think I had those there. I think
you
that
should
was
set them all to
on.
default because they're not
Yeah,
important.
default didn't work with me. A lot of this stuff I had to set on weird stuff to get it to work. Yeah, see, it's going to take me an hour just to get this working.
Hang on a second. Have you got? So what you've got is a USB cable now plugged into the back of your rig, right?
Yep.
Okay. So why didn't you use the internal sound card?
One thing I like about my 590, it has an internal sound card.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I can't afford that kind of stuff.
No, but what you can use is you can use the sound card that's built into your PC.
Yeah, but that's
That's what I've been doing for a year now. God, I want a better system. This is designed to be used with radio equipment. I'm using a production sound card now, and I'm having all kinds of audio level issues and everything else. This is supposed to be balanced out perfectly for use with radios. That's why I bought it.
Yeah, it is. You're right.
It also was supposed to have rig control built into it, which it doesn't have. So,
No, I don't think that your rig control has to be hooked up. All right, which radio do you have?
the FT100. Yeah, Yaesu FT100. So,
Not familiar with that particular radio. Is there an RS-232 or USB connector on the back of that rig?
Nope.
Neither?
Nope. There's two different serial plugs, two different kinds of serial plugs. One's a data plug, and one is the rig control plug. And I've got the rig control plug hooked back up now. I just got to figure out what I got to do to get this going again.
Yeah, just go to.
God, this is aggravating.
Yeah, no. Go to Windows and find out exactly which COM port it's on first. So you know what you're working with.
To disconnect everything else.
So you go to System Settings, go to the usual Device Manager, you got it. So scroll down to COM ports, and you've got a printer, serial port COM3.
COM3.
It's gone COM3. Okay, so you're
click
good.
on that to find out your baud rate while you're there.
Yeah, double click.
And
okay, 9600.
Yeah.
9608N1. Okay.
Yeah, so set your COM port to 3.
And baud rate to 9600.
Okay.
And the stop bit should be default, and your handshake should be default.
Yeah.
Now hit the test button.
That's not good. It should go green straight away. Okay. Hold on. What's it say? Oh.
I'm gonna power cycle the radio, and I'm gonna unplug the USB. Hold on.
Yeah, it should be USB, I think.
Yeah, I think.
We lost your audio, Dallas.
He's not using cat control. Up there in the upper right-hand corner, it has your push-to-talk method. You've got cat control selected. You want that to be
Probably works.
Oh, you want it cat?
No, he's not using cat control.
He is now. We're configuring it now so that he's using the direct cable from his
Well,
PC directly into the back of his radio for control, and then we're going to put through the audio back and forth using the signal links. I mean, you can use it without. You don't need cat control because you can use the Vox. That's odd, it won't work.
okay.
Is it hamlib that's missing? I can't read it, it's too quick.
Yeah, he's clicking at about 500 clicks per second.
Yeah. Default. Okay. So we don't use RDS cat fault. Port USB. None. Change mode to
USB.
USB.
Go to the right. Go to the right.
That's it,
Right there.
that's
Change that to USB.
And next time the error comes up, let us read it.
Oh, this is dope. Okay.
Hamlib, yeah, it's a hamlib.
Hamlin error communication time out.
Yeah, so it's not seeing it. And you've still got your radio set to data. Your radio hasn't gone back to normal mode. Okay. Shouldn't make any difference, but what's your audio set to? Oh, you got something there.
Yeah, I'm getting something.
You're getting something coming in, so your audio's working. So where are you getting your audio from?
Let me get, I think he's got a sound card on that radio.
I don't know if it has. What's it called? FT100?
FT100.
FT100 spec. Mobile radio. You said it's not a DR, it's just a regular one?
If somebody needs to look and see if that radio has a sound card built in.
No. He says it doesn't. It's too old for that.
Okay.
So I'm guessing you still got the signal link plugged in.
So you're gonna need the signal for sound.
Oh, we're nearly there then.
So the first thing I would do is get the cat going, or get the rig control going.
Okay. Okay, yeah, no, it hasn't got a sound card. I'm just looking to see what its levels are. So, yeah, we got it set right. 9600 for packet through the packet jack. That actually defaults for some reason. Okay. So, but you're getting 6. So, have you still got the signal link plugged in, Ian? Oh, we lost him.
He may not have his audio turned on.
Because he's getting signals coming in on the message. So
Right, and he's on the FT4.
He's getting signals from something.
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So I think he's got the signal link plugged in, and he's obviously got.
So
he
it's
may not have.
You can see it right there on the screen. He's got it plugged in. Look in the upper.
No, it's just switched to FT8.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah,
Correct.
I can move his-
But he's not getting rig control because his frequency hasn't changed. Can't hear you, Ian. We can see your lips moving.
His lips are moving, but nothing is happening.
yeah, yeah. The lights are on, but there's no one in.
That may be because he turned off his microphone somehow accidentally.
Yeah, he probably did. He probably managed to kill it in the process of moving everything else around.
Yeah, but we're not sure his headphones aren't working.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, yes.
By
Way.
Verizon, I can hear you now. Yeah.
Well, I've switched to the microphone on top of this little camera over here, and it's working. I don't know why the built-in microphone that I'm using right here is not working. But whatever, as long as you can hear me, I don't know what the quality's like. All right, so the computer's restarting. Let me fire the radio back up. And start the computer back up. What happened here? Did it not restart?
I don't know.
I guess it did, but okay. Let's see what happens. Remember, I spent the first 3,000 contacts using my microphone with my headphones stuck on top of it in a soundproof box. So I get to the point where I'll just find some way to make it work. That's what I always do. All right, so here we go. And it looks like we're receiving again.
Yeah, we've been doing that for a while.
I want to move that over a little bit, and then I'm going to go back into settings. And I don't think we need to, I think, let me see if I can see the waterfall. It wouldn't show me the waterfall earlier. Not showing,
Right.
it's not showing me a waterfall anywhere. This is
About shoving your headphones and your speaker in a box to do that reminds me of one of my coworkers. When we were working on phones, our telecom chip was to drive 5 ringing phones, the ones with the actual bells in it, without overheating the chip, and drive them to full ring volume. We had a simulator for that. It works great. He was using ringing bell phones. He did till he went brain dead. Hours on it, he would have those things ring in a box. It's
wow. I bet that was loud.
Everything's falling apart now. Dallas, you've gone totally intermittent. You're down.
my internet connection. I pay for high-speed internet and I get about 12 kilobits.
Well, for some reason, I have no waterfall, but yet I'm getting stuff on here.
And you've got your Signal Link card plugged in, have you?
Yeah.
Well, that's where you're getting your signal from.
I see your waterfall chart.
Do what?
Your waterfall, it started.
Oh yeah, it did. Man, I wish I could figure this out.
You're not on frequency either.
Yeah, because it's all screwed up because the rig control's not working. And I don't know what to do here to make this work. I don't.
I see a waterfall.
I don't see the. Oh, I see the waterfall. Yes, down the bottom. I always put mine at the top. Okay, so if we go back to this, so we know it's COM3, we know it's 9600. Data bits should be default, because we don't actually use those. And transmit audio source. Well, we know that's working. So try data packet. Click that and see what happens.
Data packet.
That's there. We're under mode. There you go. Now run your test cable. Oh.
You can hit OK. It does the same thing. It runs the test.
Yeah, but this one will give you. Yeah, it doesn't drop you out. Okay. What happens if you hit PTT? That doesn't work either. Oh, okay.
I got to get out of this. Yeah, it's not transmitting anything.
No.
No, it just keeps going back to this error. I can set this to none if you want to just play with the sound card for a few minutes. We can set this to none, set that on Vox, and now we can work with it like without rig control.
Yeah, okay. So
then I can go back and set this at a set of frequency that works.
Yeah. And now what you do initially is what you on 40 meters, so you know you got signals. So the signals are coming in. So you adjust the RX a little bit. You might have to increase the RX a bit.
There we go. Yeah, what it is now we're on the right frequency.
Yeah.
Remember, with no rig control, I had to set the frequency manually. It was still on the FT4 frequency. Okay,
okay.
So there we go. And the level actually looks perfect.
It does. It looks just about right.
I try to keep it between 60 and 80.
Yeah, that's perfect. If you can move the screen over a little bit, or the FT8 over to the left, because I can't see the right. That's it. That's perfect. Okay. Now what you want to do is hit tune, and then turn and look on your rig.
Yeah, it's transmitting.
Okay, now what you want to do is look at your rig. How many watts have you got your rig set to?
Well, way too many to tune it. I'll put it way down.
Shouldn't be that hour anyway.
Should be no more than 80% of what the rig is capable of doing.
Yeah, I got it way down low now because I need a tune.
Well, you need to know what it's going to be, though.
What do you mean?
Well, you need to know. Well, no, okay, you can just set it at anything, and then what you do is press the tune and leave it on, and then turn the power up and down until the power meter or the ALC, whichever you're choosing to use, on the rig doesn't go up anymore. So just hit tune and tune it for the best, perfect match. It's not all. You're turning the audio up to make the power of the radio go out, but you don't want it above that because you'll be distorting.
Right. What I've done is I've just tuned it to a frequency on FT4, a non-used FT4 frequency, so I can tune without interrupting anybody.
Well,
okay.
Yeah, that won't really matter, but yeah.
I don't like to just bleed out over everybody when I'm tuning, so I can hit my tune here.
Yeah, and turn the blue power control up and down until the meter stops going up. So turn it up until the meter doesn't go up anymore, and then bring it back a little bit from there.
Like right there? Can you see that?
I can't see your radio.
Okay, hold on.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's your power, and you've got your power set somewhere between 10 and 50.
It's at 41, but you're talking about when this quits going up here?
No. That'll go up and down because that's the radio. When you go back to FT8,
Okay,
on the right hand side of FT8 is a control underneath the tune. It's a bar the same as the receive bar, but it's on the right hand side. No, it's on FT8. Let me just go and get it. So it says power. So it's underneath where it says menu.
Oh no, I know where that's at. Over back on the computer again. Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So what you do is you slide that up until the power on your radio
I understand.
stops going up. And actually it's way less than they say. It's round about 50%. I think in the book it says somewhere between 60 and 70, and that's over modulating your signal.
It's like right there.
Yeah, I can't see because I've just got mine up, so to make sure I'm doing it right. There you go.
We're not seeing the desktop anymore, Ian.
Okay, yeah. Are you seeing the radio now?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was just showing you that. That's what the radio's showing. But my ALC is really high.
No, you don't want that. Show us power.
I have a real hard time with this because my power out. Oh, on the computer? You want the power on the computer?
No, I want the power on the radio.
Okay, well, it's a 100-watt radio. It's set at 42 watts.
Yeah, but
We need
we need a power meter
on the FT8 window.
Okay, I can't. There's no way for me to show you the radio and the screen at the same time.
Okay, so you've got 42, but your ALC is way too high. Can you change that ALC to give you a meter reading for power?
Yeah, no, that ALC can either be SWR or ALC. Those are the two things it can be.
Okay, well, you need to drop the power down.
The one above it is the power. Here, let me turn this back off again and go back to the radio. That's power right there. And then underneath that is ALC.
Okay.
When I hit tune, you can see the ALC goes up when I hit tune. I don't know how to turn the ALC down on this radio. Everything I've read on FT8 says you should turn it off or have it not working at all.
Yeah,
but
get it right down. You want it right down, but
I don't know. I have never been able to figure out how to do that with this radio. Like I said, guys, you guys know I'm a newbie at this. I mean, I'm still learning here, but I'm not sure. I've gone through it, and I don't know how to manually turn the ALC down. It comes up automatically.
Yeah, that's okay, because that's basically, like mic gain, or in this case, data gain.
Right.
It's the gain.
But ALC prevents you from overdriving it.
Yeah. And so turn the power down on the FT8 screen and see if your ALC drops.
Well.
Okay, so I'm going to go back to here, and I'm going to turn this down here.
Yeah, but we want to see the radio when you're doing that.
All right, so I'm going to go back to the radio, and I'm going to hit tune. Okay, I'm not showing any ALC now. And there, it just flies up. See that?
But it doesn't come down.
Nope. Should I leave it right before the clip?
Oh, there? Hold on. No, because what you're doing, I think the ALC...
Oh, I know. I see what it's doing. It's not transmitting.
That's the ALC.
Yeah, but what it's doing is it's dropping below the Vox threshold. Notice it's not. Notice the upper right corner is the transmit light. Watch what happens when I bring it up. It starts transmitting. When I bring it down, it stops because it's below the Vox threshold.
So that's probably...
But we can control the Vox threshold, but I don't want to use Vox. I'm going to be going back to rig control once I get it working. But...
yeah, okay, so... And I think your ALC is those small dotted lines. I don't think it's those big black dots.
No, it's not. The big black dots are my output power.
Yeah, they're right.
I could be wrong, but I thought when you transmit digitally, you needed to turn ALC off.
Yeah, or right down.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, you need it right down or off.
And there should be a way to turn it off on that radio.
Should be.
You would think.
I have
Everybody got an
tried.
ST-100 manual handy.
Well, I've got one here.
I've got
I'll
hints and
I'll look
tips.
it up online.
Check YouTube.
But I've got it on. I got it here. I mean, I can go through and try to search it.
There's got to be a way to do that. You should be able to just turn it off.
ALC. Let's see what it says here.
Menu setting or something.
Yeah, you want it to be a minimum at least. I mean, a couple of points is okay, but you don't want it going up full, because basically what it's going to be doing is backing your power off.
Yeah.
ALC meter, 50%.
You don't want any compression and you don't want any ALC.
And you want it as wide as possible. You don't want any filtration. You don't want any DSP.
Yeah, or any compression at all.
No, you don't want any of that clever.
I don't see it.
The only thing I can see relating to ALC, but I've got FT100 tips and tricks, so I haven't got it. It says ALC meter is F37.
Say it's a menu item someplace. I'm not familiar with Yaesu menus.
Well, it's different on every radio, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Well, I'm searching the page for automatic level control and ALC, and I'm not seeing either one.
Is there an index?
That's where I'm at. I'm going through it right now.
Table of contents or something.
I'll probably give you all sorts of curves and shit and won't tell you what we're looking for.
This is typical. Everything but what you need to find.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see ALC or whatever.
Okay. There's another one, F11. And that's HFIC ALC. And there's another one, VUHFIC ALC. That's F12 and F11. But it just gives me numbers. So if you've got a function for your, if you've got a list of menu.
What's the function number?
Function 11, and I think the other one 12 is for UHF VHF. So it's F11.
No, well, 11 is the ID, a radio ID or just ID, and 12 is tone frequency. That's for like when you're using repeaters. So I don't know if that's the same thing on this radio.
No, that's
obviously totally different. But see, the problem is that you've got the FT100, and even the Yaesu website does not give the manual for that.
You know? Yeah, I know. That's why this one I found is crap, but at least it's a manual. It's there, you know, it's got.
So if you've got a list of menu items.
I do.
In there. Well, look for. Oh, I've lost it now. Look for something called HFIC ALC. Because that's what it's called on this quick fix thingy I've got here.
Nope, that's not coming up either. There's even ALC, when I search for that in the index, it's not coming up.
Because according to this, you've got two controls. One for VHF, UHF, and one for HF, and they're called ICALC. Well, I don't really understand what IC is concerned, but yeah, you know.
I will tell you it works great. I mean, but it may work better if I had it set right. But at least the sound card seems to be working.
Well, it does, doesn't it? So, but what we still don't get is rig control.
Right. So we got to get that, figure that out.
Make sure that go back to the USB devices because I didn't see. No, not there on Windows, because we may have COM3 set for the rig and COM3 set for Signal Link, and you want those to be separate.
Right. So what we would need, yeah, okay, I get what you. Well, let's check here first. Device manager.
Yeah.
And then it's going to be under ports.
Ports.
And that's what I have.
Okay,
Let me see which one disappears when I unplug it. Sometimes you just have to do it the old-fashioned way. All right, so rig control's on 3.
Okay, so put it back in. Right, now unplug the Signal Link one.
I did.
Whoa. Okay, so what's happening is, as far as I can tell from here, is your Signal Link. Oh, that's odd, because it's seeing the Signal Link because you've got the data, but if you unplug your CAT cable, you lose COM3. So,
They expect that on here because.
whoa. What's this thing at the bottom? Universal Serial Bus Controllers.
Where?
Bottom of your list.
Last item.
Last item.
Expand that out. Let's see what.
Oh, what we got going on here?
Ah,
Holy hell. Or how would you say, bloody hell?
Bloody hell. Yeah, we've got all new bag of worms here. Okay, well, try unplugging it now and see if anything disappears.
Shouldn't the PTT
The Signal Link is unplugged.
Okay, plug it in and see what happens.
plug it in and see what we get.
Shouldn't the PTT method be CAT rather than Vox?
He scans.
Yeah, we got an extra device there. USB composite something or other.
Where'd it go? Oh, crap. Hold on. Let
It's
me
up
put
there,
it
it's
back
up there, it's at the
Back
top,
to
it's at
where
the
you
top.
were.
That's
Three
the top.
up. 3 up from where you are.
No, I know that. I'm talking about what you were looking at. I hit this and it covered up what you were looking at.
No, I was looking at the device manager.
Right.
You've got the PTT method at Vox. Mine is set for CAT.
Yeah, it will be if we can get the control working.
Okay.
What is this freaking thing doing?
Gone back to the 60s.
I don't know what's going on.
Hey there.
I get so freaking aggravated.
Oh,
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, we hear you. What's up?
here's
Not
trouble.
much.
That must be Joseph.
Just when you need him, he turns up.
What's the problem?
We're trying to configure a signal link, which is a sound card. with
Oh, yeah.
USB on Windows.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Good luck.
I want the leftover.
Your mission, should you decide to accept it.
Yeah, we need a little bit more confidence than that, Joseph, okay?
Yeah. All right, so
Okay,
that's
so what we're
that's
getting? Yeah, go back to your device manager, and maybe Joseph can give us a bit more.
what we got, Joseph, is I thought, and I'm gonna be honest, I was an ignorant ass, I guess, because I thought when I bought this thing, this Signal Link, I thought that it did both rig control and I thought it was a one-stop shop thing. It was going to do my rig control and everything. So I get it,
Oh,
bring
no,
it home,
no.
I plug it into the other port, and guess what? It doesn't work. So I go screw up all my port settings, and so now I have this working, but it doesn't do half the things I thought it did, or I probably wouldn't have spent the money on it.
Well,
All it is a sound card. I mean, I could have bought that for half this, but Whatever. I'm not worried about that right now.
Well, go back to your device manager.
All right, I'm there now. Let me go.
Stop
let me
sharing
share
your
the screen. All right, let's go back to here. There we go.
Okay, now, Joseph,
Yeah.
normally you've got ports and it shows you the COM ports.
Yeah.
But he's got something at the bottom called Universal Serial Bus Controllers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I
You
don't
need to
recognize
expand
that.
No, that's normal too. That's just USB controllers. What happens if you expand it? Yeah, those are all your hubs you've got plugged in, and like stuff, generic things like a mouse.
Okay. But
That's
I think
normal.
when the signal length went in, it threw in an extra one,
That's
which was the
probably going to
composite
be up
device.
Go under sound, video, and game controllers. Let's see what that expands out to be. Yeah, that one.
USB audio codec, USB audio device.
That's my plug-in one that I use for the audio because the onboard one doesn't work, and that's the signal link.
Really?
Yeah, but that's drivers. That's not the port.
Well,
Yeah.
open up the ports versus COM and LPT.
Yeah, that's what we're having problems with.
Communications port COM1, USB serial port COM3.
Probably gonna be 3.
But if we disconnect 3, he loses.
So
If I unplug, here's what happens when I unplug the signal link. You'll see it does that, but nothing disappears.
okay.
Okay, when I unplug the rig control, and by the way, I just plugged it back in, so here it's coming back up. When I unplug the rig control, COM port 1, what is it, 1 or 3 disappears there.
When it's plugged in?
No, when it's unplugged, I just unplugged it and 3 disappeared. So we know rig control is COM 3.
Yeah.
All right.
So
that radio has a USB port, right?
No, it does not.
Okay.
So the signal link is not supposed to be rig control. I think the signal link, what you can do is you can buy the cable for whatever radio you have, and it should be able to go into transmit mode. I believe it is supposed to work that way, but it doesn't do full rig control.
No, it does Vox.
Yeah,
the radio
Right.
already has rig control.
Right, I already have rig control. I'm just trying to get the rig control back working again while the sound card's working. And while we've been working on this, I guess, I don't know if it's because this window's open, but it looks like this is all locked up again. It's not playing.
Well, yeah, it's not. Yeah, see, hold on.
That's because you
program-
unplugged it and plugged it back in
Hey,
again.
here'd
You
be
just-
the next thing I do. Any program that you've got that's trying to access that port, you need to turn off.
This is the only program I have going right now on this whole computer is WSJTX.
Wait a minute. So the WSJTX waterfall should be running regardless of whether rig control is working or not. So go to your audio tab.
It's locked up. The WSJTX is completely
It's
locked
because you
up.
have settings. It's because you have settings open. It's not going to work if you have settings open.
Oh, okay.
Close the settings page.
Yeah, and also you've switched the comms in and off and on and off a couple of times, so it may have got itself.
So open your settings back up and go to the audio tab so USB audio codec. Yeah. So if you go to your audio tab, so is the signal link connected to your radio right now, like how it's supposed to be?
Yeah, and we were getting a waterfall just a few minutes ago, and I was able to transmit using Vox. So we do have sound in and out using the signal link.
Okay. Well,
But now we no longer have rig control.
Well, that just sounds like something got messed up while you're messing around.
Exactly.
They should both work independently of each other.
Yeah.
It's basically, like you said, a sound card.
That's exactly right.
Rig control. So go to audio.
That's already set.
Line USB audio codec, speaker USB audio codec. So that should be working. You should be getting waterfall, but I don't get why you're not.
You're gonna have to have some audio in to get waterfall.
It's not getting any. Well, hold on. What is this? It says 75 dB and 0.
Rig control.
Well, let me try something. Let's put this back on none. And let's see what happens. There's the waterfall again.
So it does.
When it cannot detect rig control, it doesn't even try to receive.
That's
Weird. It's like,
uh,
yeah.
well, can you disconnect the so I don't know. So plug your rig control back in and we just got to get that working again. That should be fairly
Right.
easy, right?
Yeah, it's plugged in, but it's not blinking or anything.
This is kind of like the dog, you tickle him in the right place and he shakes his hind leg.
Well, at least we got the signal link's working now. We just have to get the rig
Now
control
we're
working.
getting audio into the signal link. Okay.
Right. So we know that works, but when I set this back to FT100, we lose that. But maybe when we get everything working, it will work again. I don't know.
All right. So put it back on FT100. So we just got to make sure.
And I'm checking the plugs again. Everything's plugged in. It's all in the right plug. That plug only goes in one way, and it goes right in. I'm not seeing any flickering and flashing like I normally do on this plug end. When I first plug it in, it blinks a couple times and then it stops.
Did you delete the drivers for it while you were trying to troubleshoot?
No.
No. Okay.
I didn't delete any drivers or any of that kind of stuff. I never got that far. It was just mostly the stuff on this screen here I was screwing around with.
Okay.
And that's really it. I mean, I really didn't go into anything in depth. I was busy getting everything out, and I just decided to go ahead and I figured it would just go ahead and be better to go ahead and just wait and do it on here.
What's worrying though, we got the waterfall working, but we haven't got the band activity working. Oh, that's because you've got it.
Because rig control.
No, you've got settings open. That's why.
I guess, yeah. So if you go to rig, set it back to your FT100, we got to figure out just why it's not wanting to connect. It could be something like the port may have changed. I don't know. You already had it set in there. So COM3 is now what is USB?
Well, I don't use USB. I normally use COM3.
I wonder if it changed though while you were.
Yeah, you can't use two ports for the sound.
Normally the USBs are not related to the sound. It's all on the COM port.
Yeah. Or the rig control. And did you change
well,
any of
and
the
rig control is USB when it's USB all the way to the rig, but it's not like that on my rig because it's an older rig. So it uses a USB to serial port adapter. And that's why it
says FTDI, that should be it.
Yeah, that's gonna be the FTDI or something.
What does it say whenever you error communication timed out? Okay. Right.
It usually means it's not been recognized.
Yeah. And what was it? The lights aren't doing what they're supposed to do either on the physical device?
What, on the radio?
No, when you plug in the rig control cable, you say the lights on the cable are.
Oh, yeah, normally those lights blink away the whole time it's being used, but because there's no active connection right now, they're not blinking.
So would they blink all the time regardless of whether WSJTX was open or not?
I don't know about that, but I know anytime because it's always on. I have this on 24 hours a day. So I have no idea if it blinks when. I don't think it does because it only does when it's actively talking to the radio.
Okay.
Don't shoot me, but is the signal link turned on?
Yeah, understand this. We're getting sound to and from the signal link. That's not the problem. Okay. It's the rig control wire. There's actually, I'm hooking up to two different ports on my radio. One port is a data port, which I'm using for the in and out sound. The other one is the rig control port, which I have hooked up, and it was working for a year up till today, or yesterday, when I started screwing with it, and I messed it up. Now we've got the signal link working, but now we can't get the rig control back working again.
Murphy's Law.
But we've only got one COM device, which is COM3. Shouldn't we have two? Shouldn't we have two COM devices?
COM1 was there, I think.
I didn't see that.
But that was like a printer.
Dave, you are
thing.
correct. There should be 2 comms.
There should be 2 comms, yeah.
There were, but one of them says like a printer port. There's communications port.
One print, yeah, printer port. That's.
I
gonna be-
think that COM1 is COM1 is the signal link. It's gotta be.
Unplug it and see if it goes away.
So why?
It doesn't. We've tried that.
So
I've done
it
it
can't-
3 times. It doesn't
One may
disappear.
be your mouse or something like that.
This device is...
Hmm.
Wait, Windows just gives you so much great information.
Hmm.
Everybody get out your Bill Gates voodoo doll tonight.
Yeah, I mean, look at all this information they give you, and none of it tells you what it is.
Of course
Yeah. No names. No anything.
But when I unplug this, it doesn't.
Nothing goes away.
No, this is still here.
So it can't be that then.
No.
COM1 is probably not a mouse either, because that's just usually shows up as like.
But look, now that I unplugged it, the sound input just went away.
All right, so forget about the sound input for a minute and just tell WSJDX to use like a microphone or something so it doesn't yell at you the whole time.
Okay.
Maybe
All right.
that's causing a conflict somehow.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
I would think that. You know,
All right. Well, I've set that back to the other sound device. Oh, now it doesn't like that one either.
What? What?
Let's first of all set this back to 0 again, because if you don't, it won't do anything.
Oh, right.
All right. So now we're back to here again, and I got no moving waterfall.
And no moving sound meter, so it's still probably trying to use the old sound device. Go back to the audio tab. No, it says using what?
No, that is my other sound card. This is the other sound card. I've got the signal link unplugged.
Yeah, I know, but what is this? If you go to input, what options does it give you?
Just that one. That's all I have in there right now.
And it doesn't like that either. That's bizarre. Why?
It's accepted, but I still have no moving waterfall.
There's no sound. I'd say completely close WSJTX and try and open it again, maybe.
Yeah.
Good idea, Joseph.
Probably won't help, but at least we can say we tried.
Oh, here we go.
What? Multiple? Oh, I've run into this problem before. It didn't actually close the program. That could be part of your problem. If there's another instance running in the background, that could be part of your
I'm
problem.
going to restart the whole computer.
Is that going to sign you out?
You know, I'd almost think about.
No, you guys remember, I'm remoting into a different computer. The meeting is running on my good computer. This one's running on my second computer.
Okay.
So, yeah, we're fine over here, and I've just shut it down. I'm restarting it again.
Yeah, let's see what you get. Sometimes that's the easiest way to go. Sometimes I'll disconnect everything and plug in one thing at a time, get it going, and then go to the next thing.
Yeah, why don't we do that? I'm going to go ahead and unplug both the USBs.
Yeah.
So let's start it up now with nothing plugged in. Now it does. Oh, do you want me to unplug that other sound card too?
Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah, let me unplug that too.
Because it's a distractor. We're not using it right.
Okay, so I've now unplugged both sound cards because I think that COM1 was probably my other sound card. Was probably what it was.
Hey, so let's find out.
Could be.
Bring it up and let's look at the device manager with nothing connected and see what we get.
So it
Can I
looks.
tell you? Oh, go ahead, Joseph.
So I'm reading here. It says to use WSJTX with the signal link, you set the method to Vox and you set the radio to none. select Vox as the PTT method, and now your radio Vox should be off. That allows the signal link to control the push to talk. And then the audio tab, you set it to USB audio codec for in and out. And then set the power slider on the main window to the second notch for the WCX. Okay, so doesn't handle cat. So you can control. So it looks like the signal link can do everything the cat control can except for change frequency.
Right. I want to continue using my other cat control though.
Yeah.
No.
So one other thing, when you try it next time, and if it still doesn't work, make sure you try unplugging the signal link from the actual radio. Because it could be the radio is not accepting it because it's got another thing plugged into the data port.
That could be.
So what's in your comp? Okay, so you got COM1 and
So
Okay.
you've got communications port COM1 and printer port LPT1.
And I don't know what this is. I have no printers.
If you
No,
got
that's a Windows default.
Okay, I'm glad you knew that.
Yeah, I haven't got Windows, so I haven't got a printer either, and it comes up with
Most of the more recent computers do not have parallel ports.
oh.
That's what's strange.
all right. So if you open WSJTX, it should see no audio devices available at all because you unplugged everything. Yeah, there's the X down there. There's no audio device at all.
Whoever's got the radio on is getting loud. All right, let's see here. So we want file settings, and I'm going to go to audio and
Not found. Not found. So go to the radio tab. On your physical radio right now is what's plugged into it on the physical radio.
as far as
Does it have both the signal link and the cat
Yes.
control plugged in?
yes,
So unplug the signal link from the data port.
okay, all right, it's unplugged.
No, I mean like so that's a network cable that goes into the back of the radio.
Yeah, that goes directly to the COM port on the radio.
All right, because I'm just wondering if the presence of the signal link is making the radio not accept cat control for whatever reason. But if it's unplugged, then that shouldn't be the problem. So now try and put in your cat control stuff, plug into the radio and plug it into the computer, and try doing what you normally do.
Okay. All right, I just plugged the cat controller in. And let's see, we're going to go to FT100. That's not it.
Nope.
My clicking visual acuity is not any better than it ever was. Okay, let's see. And then I click cat,
Yep,
and
that was all mode USB data or packet. I don't know what that means, but oh, you can't even test it if there's no audio source.
That's crazy. You should be able to check your cat out without having.
Well, plug in just not the signal link, but the other USB sound card you had in there.
okay. All right, I plugged it back in.
I'll put the. Yeah, there you go.
Oh, it actually popped up without me having to do anything.
There you go.
I think those two cars might have been clashing.
Wait, okay, so now the waterfall's moving like it's supposed to. Radio, test cat. I can't remember if the communication timed out. So the
Move it to USB.
yeah, where it says data mode.
Mode.
No,
No.
hit test cat. Hit test cat.
It test cat. No. It comes up with green straight away. Just thinking about it though. Okay, try data packet and see what that does. Yeah.
I swore this was on none.
Yeah, it could be.
And
So
I
the
know,
only
I know
thing-
that was there, and I know that was there, and that was there. But I'm not. The radio set at 9600, but I could have swore this was on 4800.
Could do some moving on.
But
There you go.
but the radio's set on 9600.
Don't worry about it. Like set. Just press PTT and see if your radio goes into transmit mode. It won't transmit anything. It'll just put the transmit.
Yeah, it
mode
does.
on.
It does. It does. It works.
Okay, so
There
there
you
you
So-
go.
So now let's plug the signal link back in and see if we can get it working at the same time. Which I think it will, because I don't know why the radio would need to be at 9600 and then you set the computer for 4800. That only makes sense in Bill Gates' dining room. All right.
Did you add in the Chinese factor?
Yeah, there you go.
So now just all you should do now,
At 1200.
or all you need to do now is head to your audio tab and just select the USB codec as you're in and out. So there's your codec, and just that should be all you need to do.
Okay, now let me set it on the right Well, oh, that's right. I don't have to do it that way no more. Christ. Okay. Let me go.
You're on 7.080.
Yeah, I know. I
7.4.
I had it on a frequency that no one was on because I was tuning. Okay,
4.7. What is that? Is
no,
that FT4?
we're on FT4, so let me go to FT8.
There
It's
you
getting
go, that's
a
better.
little late for FT4 kind of dies out around 9 o'clock. Boy, that doesn't look right. What are we doing here? That does not look right.
That looks really distorted.
That
maybe
looks,
Well, it looked really good earlier too.
it did.
That is weird.
Let me adjust my receive level down a little bit. That's 25%.
Let me just go
The,
and
the
look.
bar is green. The decibel is green. Was that even a?
Wait a minute. I know. Well, the radio's in digital mode and not upper sideband.
That'll do it. That'll do it. Yeah, I just looked. There's plenty of signals on 40 meters.
You might have a. There you go.
There we go. Now we're on upper sideband. But and yeah, so it doesn't need to be in digital mode. So okay, that's good. I know that now.
I wouldn't think so.
There we go. We've got stuff coming up.
I wonder if I can contact you. I've been wanting to try a contact for a while.
Well, there it is.
Let me get on my.
As they said in the late 80s, hoop, there it is.
Let me see here. I gotta open up my softwares.
Looking at your dress there, Joseph, I didn't realize that Alabama was so close to the Arctic.
It is. It's like right next door.
Yeah, he does.
It's like 30 degrees outside, and I'm in the garage, so it's cold out here too.
I think you left and we got 2 nights with ice in a row. We haven't had that in 5 years,
No.
10 years. It's been a long time. It was literally a Florida blizzard. We
I
got
know.
up and there was ice on the grass. That's a Florida blizzard.
Let me connect my radio here.
If we can't get each other on FT8, we should try FT4 because there's nobody over there and the channel will be a lot cleaner.
Well, I'm
Yes,
calling
I'm still in.
CQ Alabama in case anyone is.
Don't start your machine right now. All right, let's see if I can get some signals. I can't transmit at the moment unless I put my headphones on the microphone to be an acoustic couple because I don't have a cable yet, but let's see here. What? Good. All right, I'm looking for.
Are you on evens or odds?
I am on odds.
Well, if you're receiving, I guess it doesn't matter. You're not transmitting.
Receiving.
Okay, yeah. If you're only receiving, it doesn't matter. All right, I'm calling you directly,
Okay.
and it'll be the next cycle.
You probably. Let me check the.
I got to get my grid tracker going. What's up?
Yeah, you do.
Here it comes.
I might be able to get you.
Here comes my grid tracker.
I'm calling you as well. Somebody else is calling me. What's wrong with these people?
Always calling each other. What the heck?
What the heck? I was calling Joseph as well, and then some DL9YEH jumped on top of me.
But that's what you were doing earlier when you were doing those JAs and all that other junk. You were calling people that weren't wanting to talk to you.
I know.
Hey guys, let's go over to FT4, which
Okay.
is FT4, which is we're going to use 7.047.
Why do I have 7047500?
I don't know. I don't have that.
70.
It won't matter because all that'll still appear on the waterfall.
I haven't got a different frequency for FT4.
Is it like 7.047.5? Is that what that means?
7047.0 is what I got. But it doesn't matter because if you got yours on 0.5, it just means you'll be a little further over on the waterfall. It's no big deal.
My waterfall, what is, maybe that's what FT4 just looks like and I'm not used to it.
It's wider. Everything's twice as wide.
It looks like an AM or FM transmission almost.
There is other people transmitting different things on here.
Oh,
It's not FT4. But I am hearing some people on here. I just got Croatia, I heard on here.
Croatia.
Yeah, great vacation spot.
Not as bad as the Ukraine.
Ukraine.
Guys, I'm telling you, if you're strapped like I am, you get some really cheap hotel rooms in the Ukraine right now. They are really, really low. I hate to kid around. That's a serious situation over there. It really is.
Well, it could be.
We all
And you know,
deserve to
and it's
live life
all-
without worrying about tyranny, you know?
And it's all about the money because if you look at it, you know, they're the biggest producer of uranium. They're the biggest
Yep.
producer of a bunch of stuff. It's got nothing to do with political borders and all that shit. It's straight down to the money as usual, you know?
I think I know what my problem is. I think I got this on low watts. Hold on.
Oh no, not the low wattage.
Man, I got all kinds of low watts. All right, there we go. Let's try that. I'm gonna go all the way up to 90, man. Let's live on the edge. Wait a minute, something's wrong. I have no output audio. That's what's wrong. I'm not putting out any audio, guys.
No,
How do you know?
Because your meter doesn't go.
Oh.
Yeah, here, let me show you.
Do you have a TX volume knob on the signal link?
Yes, it's at 50%. I turn it up to 100%. I don't see any change.
I was going to say, yeah.
Yeah, I don't see any change at all on the transmit audio.
There may well be a like going instead of the microphone, you've got another connection in there.
I bet that's what it is. It's got microphone audio.
Yeah.
And my microphone audio goes into a dead wire right now that used to go into my old sound card.
Yeah. So
That's what's neat about this. I'm going to be able to hook the mic back up, but I don't know how to switch back and forth. Maybe we need to figure that out.
It's probably a menu selection.
Yeah.
That's what I was afraid of. So, Siri, switch mic connections.
Well, I've been calling.
Okay, that
CQ
didn't work.
I've been calling CQ KM40VZ.
I haven't heard any of you guys.
All right, well, I'm turning
so-
it off because I'm not talking to anybody. I'm running a transmitter with no sound going through it. Let me see here.
Probably gonna need to go into the menus.
I think we need to go back to FT8.
Okay, let me, I gotta figure out what's up with this. Hold on. Let me, minimize this and go back to,
Yeah, FT4 is 7.074.5. FT8 is 7074.
I'm back on FT8 now.
Yeah, I'm back on FT8. Let me give you another call.
I picked up one station from more in the Panhandle area. Oh, just you got another one. So there might be, y'all might be able to get in.
Oh, hang on, I'm standing on top of somebody.
I gotta look into rig control now for this radio, but you can get the cables.
yeah, I mean, I bought a cable that hooked right up, and it took me a while to get it configured, but once I got all those little buttons right, it worked. All
Now,
right,
is
so
that-
what would,
Is that a USB coming out of there, or do you have to go through a converter?
no, it's a serial port that goes into a cable that has the little box on the end.
Okay, so that's a USB converter. Okay, that's what I want. All right.
Yeah, it's a USB and it makes it like a serial port.
Yeah.
I don't even know what this would be under. Christ, look at all this.
Can you turn the speed up back to 50% on the 3D printer? Or 100%? Okay.
I don't even know where I'd even look for this.
What are you trying to look for again?
I need to switch it from microphone audio to data port audio.
Oh, well, that'd be on the radio, right?
Yeah.
No, it should be in the radio.
That would be on the physical radio.
I know. What I'm actually looking at right now is the manual for the radio. I'm trying to figure out where it would be in here, but it lists. There's a million things in here. Here's how you make coffee with it.
Whoa! You can make coffee with your radio?
Yep, it makes hot chocolate too.
Does it do popcorn?
No, well, the ICOMs will.
Oh,
Microphone switches.
Yeah, they usually make that noise when they go into transmit mode.
Just go into the actual radio and start clicking through the menu.
Okay.
Lazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a good girl.
Mic gain.
See what we're all talking about. Show the dog the mic gain knob.
I think our view of your radio might be frozen because
It is frozen, isn't it? That's great. Let me see if I can read it.
KM4SXE. Anybody recognize that call? I just picked them up from
Well,
South
I'm calling
Florida.
you. I've been calling you for ages. What was the call you've just picked up?
KM4SXE. That's not our. Hold on, I gotta zoom out on the map here.
Oh, I got that. Yeah, KM4SXE. He's here. I can hear
That's
him.
Tampa.
You can't.
Hang
see
on,
me?
I gotta find. Here we go. Yeah, KM4SXE. That he's in the grid EL96 grid square that everyone y'all are in.
Yeah, that's a big square though.
Yeah, he could have been somewhere else.
Anywhere from Miami through to, well, North Miami through. A little bit of Fort Myers is not in it. Well, I've been calling CQ to you, KM4OVZ, for the last age.
And your call
AC3AV.
AC3AV. I don't have an alert. in
Dave,
here.
you told me how to do that. I put it in the DX call, but then what do I hit?
Generate a standard message.
Oh,
AC3AV.
generate standard message.
And if I can hear you, it'll come up red at this end. But the closest thing I've got on, I've got somebody in Kentucky and Tennessee, but I've got nobody in Alabama. I won Alabama on 17.
I got another N1UL coming out of the EL96 Square.
All right, I'm calling Joseph on CQ also.
Okay. What's your call? Ken K
KO4
Sorry.
JFK.
KO4JFK.
Oh, I can't see you either.
KO4JFK. Adding y'all all to the alert so that if I hear you, it'll. There we go. Now we can see the radio.
I tried all evening to download grid tracker, and it won't fly on this Windows 7.
Really? That's
Really?
surprising.
It played. I actually had it running on an XP machine. Or no, it wasn't an XP machine. It might have been a 7 machine. Actually, it was a 7 machine. I had it running on. It should run on that. It should.
It won't download for some reason, but I don't want to distract from what we're trying to do with you. So
It won't even download the file.
No, we help everybody here, dude. There's got to be a way to do this. I'll download it and send it to you.
Yeah, but it might. Yeah, that sounds odd.
No, well, like with Android apps, it won't even show you the app if it won't work in your phone. But I don't know that does that on Windows.
No, you're just not able to get the file, or like you installed it and it didn't run.
I'll do it again and see what the error is.
There we go. We can see the radio now.
Okay, let's go back. We're going to start at the beginning. I don't think it would be at the beginning, but dial pulse, beep, scan mode, scan speed, resume, DW time. That's like Miller time, but it's an hour earlier. DCS code,
No.
DCS encode decode,
No,
Art
that's for
speed.
repeaters.
No.
arts. That's I don't know. In case you're an artist, I guess.
Automatic
CW.
repeater something.
Yeah.
Oh wait, that's the thing where it'll tell you if you're in range of another radio.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. CWID,
No.
ID,
No.
tone frequency. That's for like repeaters. Dimmer set,
No.
peak hold,
No.
scope monitor,
No.
DSP mic equalizer,
No.
DSP noise something, DSP-NR,
Noise reduction, maybe.
No.
DSP LPF,
No, that's high cut.
DAPF width,
That's low cut.
and then these are your transmit powers. I use those all the time. Mic gain, FM mic gain, comp level,
Compression level.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the compression. Yeah.
AFSK level.
Now, all those should be set for around 50%.
Yeah. Yeah, they are. Well, pretty much. And then APO time off.
Yeah.
Timeout timer. I think that's what that is.
Should be about 20 minutes.
Yeah. CW filter.
Off.
AM CWN filter.
Off.
FM DEV.
Deviation. 2.5. Yeah, it's not it.
AFK S mode. RTTY.
Now that's the one. That's the one that should be set to RTTYU.
I thought we said F.
No, I thought we wanted upper sideband.
Okay.
I think the default is
Maybe that's the problem.
might be.
But then wait, there still has to be a way to switch it back to my microphone.
No, AFSK doesn't affect your microphone.
Packet rate, packet display, packet tone, packet RPT shift for 4 different bands. I don't know what that is. ARS.
Automatic repeater shift.
Okay, yeah, that's so. Okay, yeah, so that's how you get your offsets automatically.
Yeah.
Keyer type. I don't use a keyer. DOT size.
That's for Morse code.
Okay. I hate the acronym. I hate the acronym DOT because I never know whether it's Date of Theft or Department of Transportation of, there's about 10 of them. Anyway, all right.
It'll be dot and dash.
Right.
There'll be a
Dot
dash
and
somewhere.
dash. Right. It's right there.
Turkeys.
And then CW delay,
No.
CW pitch, CW break-in, keyer speed, QSK delay, box gain. I've used that before to set so it's not too sensitive. Box delay, SQL RF gain.
Well, you skipped over a setting. Did you? No, never mind.
Lock mode dial, AM FM click, mic SW set.
No, what is that? Mic
switch set. What's that? Is that like the buttons? Have you got buttons on?
Oh, it gives me settings 1 through 4.
That might be if there's buttons on the microphone, you can configure what they do.
Yes, on the Yaesu microphone, you got smart buttons on there. You can program buttons to do things for you.
Okay, so it's probably not going to be that setting then.
No.
Okay, and noise balance or something, NB level?
Noise blanking.
Noise blanking, okay. In my business, that's noise balancer, but okay. Tuner ATAS.
No.
RX LSB car.
That's the carrier. That's the point, the threshold. That should be set pretty low, like 0.2 or something.
Probably want to leave them alone.
You should have an RX and a TX for carrier, and they should be about the same.
No, they're not, but they're both low.
Yeah, they should be really low.
Always go by the principle. If you don't know what it is, you don't mess with it.
Yeah.
Well, I don't mess with anything unless I know what it is. I'm actually quite anal about that because I'm bad. I screw everything I touch up. That's that Alaskan emergency frequency, I think, is what that is.
51.
And then dial pulse, and then we're back to the beginning again. Dial pulse.
So it's not there.
You have got a second set of you got a second set, haven't you? F01 through F59.
Well, you're on the fancy wancy radio.
And you got to make sure you're looking at an FT100 basic.
Well, what I'm doing,
Delta.
I'm not looking at a Delta, but I'm looking at something that's called FT100 tips and tricks. But it doesn't give you an awful lot. But I know on most, I mean, I don't know if I got
Hold
an FT100.
So you're, what are you trying to do again exactly? You are trying to
switch the mic off or the mic.
So can you just plug the mic?
Audio source from the microphone to the out.
Could it be that simple that I just unplug the mic?
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ.
But it's not a dirty arm, is it? You know?
It could be just
Okay, it's out.
Wait, that's the what? Oh.
Y'all don't make fun of my radio. I like it.
No, I'm not laughing about that.
She's an old timer. She's an old timer like me, but she still works.
Hey, there's nothing wrong. I've got a bunch of old timers, especially Yaesus. They
got radios that are a lot older than that.
I'll tell you, I'm becoming a pretty big Yaesu fan.
Absolutely.
I love it. I love their stuff. I got 3 radios that are Yaesu. 2 of them are 18-year-old one's 16 and one's 18-year-old VHF boat anchors. And they still work. They got beautiful sound. I talk on the nets with them all the time. I got one mounted in my van. Okay,
Works don't fix.
let's see what happens here. All right, rig control tested out. We're reconnected again. Now let me hit tune. Okay, and there's still no audio.
So you're.
See what happens? There's
Yeah,
no
it's
audio at all.
How is it supposed to be? So what? You're using the signal link for the audio. So the signal link is plugged into the radio through the data port.
Yes.
So that should have audio in and out in it.
Yes.
The audio in there.
So I wonder if you have to put it in AFSK mode. Because that's what that port is usually used for. That port at the back is like baseband and it has everything. Maybe you have to put it in.
We did that way early on, though, didn't we?
Not in the radio.
Yeah, we did.
Well, you were in digital mode, but I don't know if you can change. Like, let me look this up. D100.
Well, I mean, when I get in the digital mode, I go to AM and then I hold the button down and it goes into digital mode. Let me see if that. And
you don't want digital mode. You want.
Yeah, and when I do that, but when I do that, it is showing audio out when I do that.
Audio out?
Yeah, look what happens now. Okay, you guys see the radio?
Yeah.
Watch now. I'm going to hit tune. I actually have some output there.
But it's not going to decode anything because you're not in upper sideband?
Can you get digital upper sideband mode?
Yeah, well, it's always in, I don't know. But when I put it in digital, I see audio on here. And the Vox thing is working again.
My FT450, it shows USB and it shows data on the radio. If that's of help.
Yeah, when I switch it back to, well, what the hell is going on? I have audio out now.
Well, audio out from, what do you mean?
Look, it's putting out now. That's transmitting. Yep, see it?
Yeah. So what'd you change? You just swapped it back and forth from data to.
I will tell you, it's not using cat control for transmit. It's using Vox, which I really don't like.
What?
I have it set on cat, but yet it's still, and I know it's Vox because when I hit tune, if I bring the volume down just a little bit, the transmit drops out.
Yeah.
Ooh, so it's not using cat anymore.
No, but let me see something else. Can I change frequencies? Yes. Yes. So so it's going to use Vox. I'm okay with that if that's what I have to do, because there's no way it can get errant sounds or anything. There's no way the Vox can, like before, when I had my thing in my soundproof box, if I slammed the door, it would still transmit my radio for a second. Yeah, I couldn't yell at the wife or the cats or nothing. So it was terrible. It was a real drought. But anyway, so that seems to be that. That seems to be what I have to do.
That was a different kind of cat control when you slammed the door.
Yeah.
Especially the cats, especially if the cat's in the jar. Yeah. Yeah, don't slam the door on the cat.
Ian has too many cat controls down there.
Yeah.
I have lots of cats. I have lots of cats.
Lots of cats and no cat control.
Yeah,
You should get them to help you with this problem.
Look, you don't. First of all, you don't control. You don't own cats. They own you.
Yeah.
And that's.
Well, you know what it is. You know, the Egyptians used to, like 500 or 2,000, 3,000 years ago, the Egyptians used to worship cats, and they've never forgotten it.
That's right.
See why.
All right, so I'm going to call CQ. Oh, wait a minute here. I'm on the wrong mode.
give me a
You're
call.
you're on FT8, right?
Yeah, 40 meters.
All right, let me get out of this mode.
I haven't
trying
heard.
I've
I
been
haven't
trying
heard.
everybody and I can't.
Yeah,
get a
I
hold
haven't
of
heard anybody. I've been hearing other people from the same grid square, but I haven't heard any of y'all from Fort Myers yet. So I need to check reception reports.
All right, let me go switch back to here. There we go. I hear
Hey, Joseph,
somebody.
I ordered those connectors and they came in today, so I'm good shape.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure.
All right, so I'm calling KM4OVZ, but I need to find a spot. There's a parking spot. The parking lot's busy tonight.
Isn't it?
All right, there we go. I'm calling.
All right, I'm listening.
The next cycle.
Wonder if we might be better on 80 meters.
I don't know. 80's been really kind of short lately. But then again, he's about one jump for 80.
Yeah. I'm going to go and try 80.
Okay, well, I can tune up to 80. Can you tune 80, Joseph?
Yes, I can.
Okay, so let's go to 80.
Ian, you're making it into Cincinnati and Minneapolis, but not Alabama. So your signals looks like one jump is too far on 40 right now. Oh wait, I heard you. Never mind. I just heard you.
On 40?
Yeah, on 40.
I just tuned it up to...
There you are. -20 it says. Now it's -18. I gotta get my Let me try I gotta answer you back.
You got to hook up the acoustic couple.
Yes.
I haven't got anybody.
I love me some acoustic couple. I did my first 3,000 contacts with an acoustic couple, which is a fancy term for headphones and microphone.
All right, here comes the next cycle.
Piece of bad mail.
See if you guys can hear this.
So
Let's see if you can hear me.
No.
You haven't heard me yet. Okay.
What kilocycle are you transmitting at?
Oh, I might be on top of somebody. I didn't even check that. I am. Oh, there we go. Transmitting again. Yeah, I might be on top of somebody.
Some people like that, some don't. All right, that was funny. Whatever. Oh, I heard you. Oh my God. I'm making a contact with you. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God.
Can't believe it. It's probably the first time that's actually worked.
Well, I'm trying.
In the words of Dave, bloody hell.
Bloody hell.
what frequency on 40 meters are y'all on?
74.
70, 74 about
I ain't seeing diddly doo.
Oh man. Hey, listen, there's a fog advisory out for tonight that came out about an hour ago. I am already seeing the beginnings of fog forming on my cameras. So it's going to be a very socked in foggy night down here, just so you guys know.
It's going to be a thick night.
It's going to be thick. It's very tropical. It's very May right now. Not quite June, but May out there right now. It's humid, a little warm. All right, look at that.
Made a contact. Yay.
Under comments, I should put it's about time.
I can see it, so I can actually work.
Who did you see?
I got an alert in there for you. The alert came up too.
Yeah, that's how I saw you show up. I have Ken and Dave in there as alerts as well, but I haven't heard you guys.
Well, I can see Ian, so I've just given Ian a call. But I don't understand why I can see Ian, not you.
I'm not hearing you.
I'm not transmitting yet. Oh, I am now.
Oh, okay. All right.
Now, No. I heard you briefly up there, but you were minus something big. Yeah, you were minus 24. I'm not sure if I can work minus 24.
Whoa, the
I'm
sun
a
broke
busy
in
man.
half.
Yeah, look at that. Part of the sun broke off.
Oh my gosh. No wonder
I
all
hope,
the bands
I
are
hope
closed.
it's not heading this way.
Where's the sun broken off?
It's
I
on
pulled-
Somebody took a
Hey, I
bite.
caught you. Hey, AC3AV, I got you. I heard you in there just now.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay, what, calling you or calling Ian?
Hold on. I gotta find the thing again.
Ooh, Russia.
I don't know. Because I had it on CQ only. I didn't see the...
Russia, Russia, Russia.
I'm going to call, I'll call you again.
Give me a call, because I heard you.
I wonder if that Russia guy's calling the Ukraine guy. I tend to doubt it.
Ask him if he's left the light on for him.
Now, when you work FT8 in Russia, do you have to take your shirt off? I don't know how that works. I know you do when you ride a horse.
I guess if your name is Vladimir, that's what you do.
See, I didn't... Oh, you were calling KO4EFS. That's when I heard you.
Yeah, well, now I'm calling you.
Okay. And it has been 35 seconds since I last... Or 48 seconds since I last heard you. So I'm still... waiting.
Yeah, see, I only need, for my WAS, I only need Alabama, Kentucky, Louisiana, and South Carolina. So, for some reason or other, I can't get relatively close states. So, Alabama would be good.
Why don't we all, now that we've done this, why don't we go up to 80? Because we talked about doing that. Why don't we all go up to 80 and see if we can get each other there?
Yeah, we can do that.
All right, so we're going
Yeah, I
to
don't think I'm
go
gonna...
to 3.358.
3.358?
Or no,
3573.
right, yeah, 573. Okay, I got that.
Be-
And let me clear this. All
I'm
right.
gonna attempt to tune this. It may not want to tune, but I'll.
You know what? Since I moved mine out from under that tree and got it all set up good, mine works great on 80 now.
Well, I'm on a
works
dipole. Oh, almost tuned it. I'm on a dipole for 40.
Yeah, be real efficient.
Yeah, you're probably pushing it a little bit, but it'd be all right.
Well, it's like it's a half wave. I would think it would be okay, but it will tune it. I just gotta give it a minute here to try and tune it.
Yeah,
There we go. Almost. Oh, almost tuned it.
And your rig will warm you up a little bit as well.
Yeah, once I start cranking out the power.
There we go. I about got mine tuned. Okay, I'm tuned.
I'm still working on mine.
Yeah, I've got mine tuned and I transmitting.
Not almost.
I can receive up there, but I'm not transmitting.
Dallas, you're not far away, are you, from the... You're even closer, aren't you?
Well, I'm just east of Atlanta.
Oh, okay, yeah, you're nowhere near Alabama, are you? Way closer than we are.
I'm still. I don't know if anybody knows what might cause this, but I have this TS440S Kenwood radio that I'm using as my main rig. If I let it sit here and attempt to tune a frequency, and it takes like, if it tries to tune for more than like 2 minutes or 3 minutes or something, it does something weird. The radio turns off and the power supply turns off, and everything connected to the power supply turns off.
Yeah, because you've got too high an SWR.
So the radio.
It's just closing down. It's
So the
protecting
radio-
itself.
So the radio shorts the output or something? Because why would the power supply turn off if that was...
That's weird.
Because the power supply uses a sense line, so it's using the sense line to shut everything down. It's a safety thing.
No, but I don't have any sense line. I just have two
No, you do
wires.
internally, don't you? Oh, that's because you got RF getting into your power supply.
Oh, that could be.
Yeah, that's RFI.
I have a small power supply that will reset sometimes when I'm on like 30 or something, or one of those.
Yeah,
weird
yeah,
bands.
you got to ground everything.
Oh, okay. I
You got
tuned.
RFI.
I got it.
Ferrite chokes might help too.
Yeah.
All right, I got it to tune 80. So let's see if I can hear you guys.
All right, I'm calling you.
Me too.
I'm seeing Dave at a -11.
Oh, cool. Well, give me a shout.
No, I can't tune on 80.
Oh, okay.
Well, when we get done here, we'll try some other frequencies. We'll try 30 or 20 or 30 or something. I can't do 60. You have to with my radio. In order for me to do 60, I have to take it apart. I have to get 2 chickens' feet in a cauldron, and you have no idea. And I don't. Where am I going to find chicken lips at a time like
Don't
this?
forget Colonel
Yeah, yeah.
Sanders' special.
There's
sauce.
there's Joseph at a -24.
How are you hearing me? I'm not transmitting.
Well,
Damn, that's a good radio.
Man,
I want that radio right now.
What he's doing, he's seeing me, or he's seeing one of us, because I'm
Ian
calling.
Robert's calling me.
yeah, EFS is calling him.
Yeah, and I'm calling him as well. So
Windows open.
I'm gonna try
-19,
calling
it
you.
says. So the second call sign is
now the
person
first
who's calling, right?
yeah, it's just like you would do. You know, if I was calling you,
Oh,
I would call
I see
Hey.
it.
AL4JF
You got me.
Yes,
Wow.
again,
you are correct, sir.
and
Yeah,
I
but it
can't,
worked.
and I can't get you.
Oh, I didn't hear your response.
I don't know if you know it or not, but HOAs have an energy dampening field around them.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm feeling it real bad right now.
You're a type of black hole.
Yeah.
But you
I don't
just-
know. I've
What?
got 134 countries, so it can't
All
be
right.
that bad.
I'm going to go up a little on my transmit. Are you still hearing me?
You're still hearing me. I'm not hearing you yet. I haven't heard you yet. Oh,
Yeah, the two of
I
the
got
two of
somebody
you-
else.
All right. Well, I'm now at 100 watts.
Whoa.
You're starting to burn my bare feet.
Somebody else responded to me.
An NT4J.
Yeah, I saw him.
You tell him to mind his own business. We're busy.
Just frequencies in use.
Is this frequency in use? Yeah, it is now.
So you're hearing me every time. I'm not hearing you at all.
Right, I'll come in a sec.
He's still calling me. I actually had a good experience on HF though the other day. I heard somebody talking and there's a break, so I called them. I was like, "Hey, can anybody hear me?" And they answered me, and they did not get angry.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
made
pretty
some
cool.
phone contacts on 20 meters. Brazil, Venezuela.
Really?
Yeah, 20 meters. Yeah.
Wow. I'm now that I've got my antenna out from under the trees and it's up higher and it's installed properly. I'm going to go back and give phone an earnest try again. I've also got my 6 beam hooked up now, and I got it selectable on my tuner. So I'm going to be doing a lot more with different things. All right, Joseph, I'm at 100 watts. That's all I can do right there, buddy. I don't know.
I'm not still not
I
hearing
can go
you.
out. I can go out and yell and see if that helps.
Ian, have you tried to get on the 6-meter net on Thursday nights?
Yes, the Charlotte County one.
Yeah.
Yes, he was able to hear me one night, and the only way he was is because I ran up there real quick and climbed up my tower, and I went up there and I leave my beam loose. I leave the connection, the 2 U-bolts loose enough that I can reach up there. I have to put a belt around myself so I don't fall, but I can reach up there and I can twist it and vertically polarize it. And then I turned it toward Charlotte County, and I was able to get you guys. It's a little bit of a hop between here and there. And, you know, considering we're not doing it at a time when 6 meters is really good, and we're not doing it, you know, I don't know. I have a hard time, but I'm going to keep trying. I'll try it again sometime.
Yeah, I got on for the first time last night, but I wasn't able to hear net control. I was only able to hear another Northport station.
And I can only do it when I get out of work early because it starts at 7. I get out of work at 8. But sometimes we pre-record up large portions of the show. Other times we don't. You know, like tonight, we had one pre-recorded segment at the end.
Hey, wait.
Right.
So there's the NT4J. I just did the contact with him. So you're still hearing me, but I'm not hearing you.
Ian's got a KJ4YLR.
Oh yeah, that's because a different person started calling me. I'm going to answer him now. I'll answer him. Hang in there, buddy. I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm still not hearing you.
Okay, guys, this is as fun as it is. I've got to go.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh, unacceptable.
yeah, yeah. I just got a tap on the shoulder. So,
All right.
we'll see. One quick one though, Ian.
Well, thank you, Dave, for helping me get this going. Between you and
okay.
Joseph and Rick and Ken and everybody in Dallas, I was able to get it going, and I'm ecstatic.
Yeah. One quick one. On Wednesday night for my club down here, I gave a talk on your oh golly, what's it called?
The WatchNet?
The WatchNet.
Yeah.
So I used your email and your website. We talked about it. There was a guy on earlier on, but he seems to have gone from our club. So at least we had 3 people who were really keen. So if I could, maybe develop a few more, we could have a net down here and then link to your net somehow or other.
I would love to do that. I'm doing the exact same thing with Dwayne and the guys up at CC Flares. We're going to be working through them. And so if we can't contact Verna, we can go to CC Flares and they can contact Verna, which is the nearest NI4CE, which gets us into Ruskin for the Skywarn stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. That would be wonderful. Even though you're not technically in that Skywarn zone, we can still do it.
Yeah.
I would love to. I'd love to do it. We just got to find a way to beam from here to there. I don't see why in the future we can't even link repeaters when we go into an emergency mode.
No, well, at the moment I'm trying to build a 14 element 77s, and we'll see, because that thing that Dallas gave us a week ago looks like I should be able to get in with a bit of gain. So, but I haven't got round to finish it. But maybe this week I'll have chance. So anyway, I'll talk to you next week.
Okay.
I've got to run. So 7-3 all. It was fun, and I'm glad we got something out of it anyway. All right.
Thanks for the help.
That's good.
Yeah, stay warm, Joseph.
I will.
Hey, we got it going. That's what counts, man. We got it going. All right, man. Have a good one. Have a good weekend, Dave.
Cheers.
All right, 7-3. All
I'm
right.
calling you again.
Are you calling me?
Yeah.
All right, get off of 80 because I can't get my antenna to tune this part of 80.
Okay. All right. So let's go to the next thing would be to go to 30.
30? What?
10.136.
10.136?
Or
I probably can't tune that.
Or 10136.0, depending on how you want to say it.
10.136?
Yeah, 10.136.
I'm probably not going to be able to tune that.
Neither. I'll find out.
I'll be shocked if it tunes this.
Well, if not, then we can go to 14.074 and see if that's still open at all. I don't see anybody on it.
What is this thing doing? It's tuning it. Why?
What's it tuning?
Why did it tune that?
What it tuned?
It tuned 30 meters.
Okay, well, I'm on 30 meters too. Let's see if we can hear
Why?
it.
I don't know why that worked. It's I'm not complaining, I guess. Let's see I'm not hearing any stations on here. Oh wait, no, there's one. Okay.
Yeah, I just got to tune real quick, and it won't take me long. My rotor tuner works wonderfully now that I'm not under a tree and all that bull crap. It actually works really well now.
That's good. I did something. I added a feature that makes your signals work better. I put a red blinking light on top of my tower.
There you go.
So now it's like, even better. It's like when you put rainbow lights on your gaming computer, that gives you more frame rate.
Oh yeah, it sure does. It also makes you win more games.
Yeah, it does. You got that colors there.
Ooh, mine's
Funny
not.
thing is, I have to turn the lights off while I'm operating because for some reason when it reaches a certain point in the fade cycle, I have a Texas Instruments 555 timer and a capacitor and a transistor, and when it reaches a certain point in the cycle, it emits some kind of RFI.
Oh my god.
Every 5 seconds or every like 10 seconds, you get this like noise coming over the radio while the circuit's on. Other than that, it's pretty cool.
Okay, I'm tuned.
All right.
I'm going to try to call you.
Or
are you going to call me?
I'll call you.
Okay, all right. I'm in monitoring mode.
All right, keep. All right, we gotta wait for this cycle to end.
If anybody else is out there, we're on 10.136, and we're going to try this, and then we can try something else. You know, I used to think that all the fun on radio happened at night. And then I became a ham radio operator and found out actually it's a little more fun during the day when you got shots on 6 through 20. You got all kinds of cool stuff going on. At night, you got 40, you got 80, and you got 60 if you have the cauldron and the chicken's feet and all that.
Why is that doing that? I think I'm not actually tuned. It says I was tuned, but it's showing no output power when I'm keyed up.
It's protecting itself.
So it's not actually tuned for whatever reason. The SWR meter shows 0 1-to-1 SWR, so that's weird to me.
If you're not transmitting, then you have no reflector.
It's showing like 30 amps when I go into TX. That's not right.
Yeah, your SWR's got to be way off.
It's so bad that it just pretended to tune, I guess. So that's not going to work for me.
Okay, well, stay right there. Stay there for a second. Let's see if you can hear me. I'll go ahead and enable this, and we'll try the next cycle around. We'll see if you can hear me anyway. If that doesn't work, we can go to 40 or 20. I know you can tune 20.
Should be able to, yeah.
20 and 40 are like everybody's go-to bands.
So here's the question. Is there a way to make it to where I can only see one of y'all's calls so that there's not like 500 people on the band?
Well, right underneath the window there's a little thing that says CQ only. If you click that little square right there, you'll only see people who are calling CQ, and that's one way you can eliminate a lot of the crap in that list.
Still, that's going to eliminate, if you call a specific person, that won't show up in the CQ only.
Exactly. You won't see me calling Joseph right now, but you'll only see CQs.
I don't know if there's a way.
The other thing you can do is, and here I'll share my screen. I don't know if you've done this before, but if you go into settings, you can set alerts.
That's what I'd say you should do.
And see, I set alerts for Joseph here, and there's one for John. And if he comes on, it actually will pop up an alert on my screen and let me know that he's on. Even if I have the CQ only checked or whatever, if it detects him in any way, shape, or form, it's going to let me know. And from time to time, I'll put a bunch of people in there. Like if I'm doing a contest and I know there's 3 or 4 people working it, I'll stick them in there so I have alerts and I'll see when they come up.
Well, I just loaded Grid Tracker a minute ago, and I don't know how to play with it, but I just saw this thing for putting in an alert. So I just type in where it says new. I just put in your call sign.
The type would be call sign exact. Value would be the person's call sign, and then the next one you would decide which 4 methods you would use to be alerted, and then repeat until deleted, and then click add. Oops, somebody's calling me. Let me answer them. Retired U.S. Army. Hey, they're from Baton Rouge. I think they wrote a song about that.
Yeah.
Garth Brooks, if my memory serves.
Man, I gotta say, I've never had an antenna that's worked this good on HF. Just looking at the whatever you call it, PSK reporter, and I can see where my signal's going. I'm getting picked up in like France, and all over there. But before I had this thing, I was never picked up that far away.
And what do you have now that you're liking so much?
It's an inverted for 40 meters. Well, the other thing is I've never had an antenna this high. This thing is actually up 30 feet or like 32 feet at the peak. And that's much higher than the other stuff. Like I had the G5RV, but that was like 10 feet off the ground all the way across. So this is higher and it's working really good.
I had my wire up 20 feet in the middle, and then the slopers were 10 feet on each end, and for the V, and it was terrible. And it had trees all around it. I've moved it up to where the wire actually is up at 30 feet now, and each of my ends are at 20 feet, and there's no tree over part of it anymore. And I'm getting twice the transmit distance and twice the receive. It's amazing. Yep. Amazing.
Yep. Yeah, the difference is huge.
All right, there's still a few people on 20. You want to try 20? 14.074.
14.074.
I hope we didn't upset people that aren't on FT8 tonight, but
It's all right.
is there anybody not on FT8? I don't know. I don't know why I got it in my head that this signal link box was supposed to be a damn rig controller too.
No.
Well, it depends on what you are calling a rig controller.
That's where I got confused.
It will key your radio.
Right.
I mean, and then I don't think it will put you on the right frequency if you're wanting.
No, it won't. But it's okay because it's working like this, and I don't really care. I just wish that that it would use the rig control completely. Okay, I just got that guy. I'm going to go now and try to call you again.
I'm not hearing any stations at all on 20.
Okay, well I still have to tune, so give me a second here.
Why is it?
I don't have that one button tuner like everybody else.
My radio is all messed up for some reason.
And I'm going to say something now that some people might find ignorant. Well, I know it wouldn't be the first time, but I think everybody should start with a rotor tuner, and work your way up, because I've learned so much about tuning and stuff having a rotor tuner. Because I've learned a lot about it by having a rotor tuner. I just think it's really cool to be able to experiment with it and actually, tune your antennas up manually. Little things like the gauge likes one thing a little better than the gauge on the radio. Like the radio will show I have an SWR perfect, but my gauge on my tuner says my reflection's a little high. And so by the time I adjust it to where the reflection's down to where it's perfect, I've got an SWR of 2 on the radio. So I'm learning how to bridge the gap there and try to find the best resolution there. Anyway, okay, Joseph, let's see here.
Well, I've got some kind of issue because since I tried to tune up on 10 and act like it works, now it doesn't want to tune anything. It's just pulling like 25 amps every time I try and tune, and it's not doing anything.
I would power cycle everything.
That's what I'm gonna do.
You know why I say that? Because it makes me sound smart. That usually fixes everything. That way, when you power cycle it and it works, I'd say, yeah, see, I told you, that's what would work.
That's my way of getting out of a menu trap. I get in
That's right.
Menu that I don't know where to go next. I just hit the power button and come back.
Start over. The bow thing. If you hit, I forget what it is, but it's like if you hit menu pound or menu 3 or something, it goes into DTMF mode and it locks there, and you're stuck. You have to turn it off and turn it back on again. I hate that.
So I just went back to. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, so this thing here, I've put Ian's call and Joe's call in here, and my laptop was always saying this wanted call. Is that because I put y'all's calls in this thing? But
No, it's saying what this is, and here, I'll show you on my screen. Oh, great, my grid tracker dumped out on me. Hold on just a second. Let me get that back up. You know, some guys can get it up, but other guys can keep it up, and that's where it's important.
So
There
it looks
we
like
go.
I can only tune 80 and 40. It doesn't want to do 20. But I'll listen. I'll monitor on 20 and see if I can hear you.
Well, I'm calling you.
14074.
Okay. When you're on your grid tracker, here it is. You go to settings. All right, let me see. Under alerts again. Let's see, is it under where? Yeah, under alerts. Do you see these? Do you see these lights right here? You can turn these on and off depending on what alerts you want to hear. If you've got the call sign lit up, you're going to hear anytime someone comes up calling CQ. If they come up with a call sign that you don't have yet, it's going to say new call sign, or it's going to say whatever you have here, wanted call.
Well, hold on a minute. I need to get back to that screen you've got there. I've got some crazy map showing somebody in like Louisiana talking to Brazil.
Okay, that crazy map is the actual map. That's the actual program. That's this screen here.
So how do I get back to the
from this screen? Everything's accessed from these buttons right over here on the right, and you're going to hit the two little gears on the right side in the middle. You're going to hit the green and the orange gear there, and that brings up your settings screen.
Okay.
You see that?
All right. So I've got
Gear,
this. All right. So when you get on all those radio buttons right there, the only thing I've got set is call sign.
Okay. I normally leave mine set like that. Hold on, I gotta call this guy. I normally leave mine set like that because I'm looking for new grids. I'm looking for new DXCC. If you've got call sign, every single time it goes by, it's gonna go new call, new call, new call every 30 seconds, and it's gonna get old. So I turn that off. Sometimes if I'm busy working on stuff, I'll turn off grid too, and I'll just leave on the last four, and then I just leave it running over here on the side. I ignore it, and then it'll come on and it'll say, want a DXCC zone, and I'm like, yeah, I want that, so I run over and grab it real quick. This alert feature I use constantly. You need two sound cards, one for the radio, obviously, and one for the alerts. But I use the alert function a lot. It's always on. And I've got a little klaxon speaker, not a klaxon, but a little bullhorn speaker back here. And that's what I had. And I hooked it up and it worked right out of the sound card. I didn't need an amplifier. Anytime I use an amplifier, I'm getting errant sounds because of the RF. So you guys know how those cheap speaker amplifiers and stuff. So I found an old horn speaker that I was able to hook right up to the sound card, and it's just loud enough for me to hear it. It's perfect. And it doesn't have any RF in it because I'm not using an amplifier. So anyway, that's what that is. Well, I'm happy, man. My signal link's working. It only does half of what I thought it did.
All right. Does that mean we get to keep our paycheck?
Yes. You guys are hired for next week. Your show back up at 8 o'clock on Friday next week, and we'll get you started.
Hey, I have a
We got
thing.
We got tenure at this point.
Yeah.
I have an idea. So next week on Friday is the next Huntsville. By the way, I don't know if I told y'all about this or not, but I went to the Huntsville Amateur Radio Club meeting because I heard it was a build night. And I was like, hey, that's something I always wish that FMARC did.
Yeah, me too.
So I went, and I just have to say, I was just amazed by the difference going to an event here versus in Fort Myers. They had everything organized really well. And the coolest part, I don't know. I hope nobody from the FMRC is listening right now, but they had all the supplies. It was a build night, and the item was a 40-meter inverted V, and that's what I have outside now. Was because I went there and built it. All the supplies were there. They had all the insulators. They had 3D printed, the little centerpiece. They had the PL259 connectors. They set up tables with soldering irons. And there must have been about 10 of us building the actual antenna, and it was all free. I was not even a member of the club, and they let me come and build one. And they gave me the insulators. I know hams love to be really stingy with the insulators. They gave them away for free. And it was just amazing. Everybody there was super nice. It was great getting to know some of the local hams and everybody. And it was just super, super cool. Anyway, so what was I going to say? Yeah, so it was a 2-part event. So we built a 40-meter dipole last week. And that's what I have up now. But next week, we're supposed to go back and bring the antenna back. And we're going to turn it into a linked dipole, which is a multi-band dipole that you go out there and you manually close the links between the different sections to change the band.
Oh,
So I'm going to go back, hopefully. And I was wondering if, let's see, I'm not exactly sure. I believe the event starts at, I want to say 7:30.
which is
Local
8:30
time
for
here.
us.
It's 8:30 for you guys. So I can bring a tripod and a camera maybe and bring you guys along to the event. I don't know if you want to make that an official thing or not, but we could try and plan on that if you want.
Yeah, I think it'd be great. I think it'd do it as like basically a tour, and you can let us meet everybody and
And-
type of thing.
The other thing, which is another thing y'all are really going to think is cool, they're holding this event in a antique radio museum.
Oh wow!
So inside of there, I need to pull up some pictures or something, because inside there they had hundreds and hundreds of like pre-World War II, World War II era radios, AM receivers. They had some airplane transceivers. It was mostly just like AM household receivers. But they also had this little shack inside the main building, and in there was some ham radios, some really old ham radios. And they had those set up, with the original power supplies and tuners and everything with tubes in them. Anyway, and they had a hex beam on the roof, and they actually let me go in there and use it.
Cool.
This place is super cool. I need to show some pictures of it because, man, it was awesome. But I think it would be cool to go there with a camera and bring you guys along for the build at least, or at least part of it. If they have Wi-Fi, I don't know. But
I have to tell you, Joseph, that this, and I don't want to get into a negative conversation here, but that's part of the reason why I left FMARC and started my own tech group and TechNet, because they don't do anything. They're really not interested in HF at all. And the reason is because all the board members and all the people that do anything with FMARC, they all live in homeowners associations, and none of them do HF. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true.
Yep.
And what you end up with a lot of times, unfortunately, is a club full of old guys that like to hang out over at the restaurant together. But it's not about building technology and learning about radios and building things. And that's why they never do build days. They, aside from the 2 field days, they really don't do any operation at all, other than 3 events a year. That's it. So, and I asked them to do, I wanted to start a contesting group within the group, and they're not interested. They don't want to do any contesting. So it is what it is. They love their VHF though.
all right, let me pull up
some active
pictures.
parks on the air stuff. I will say that.
There's some guys way down in Naples that do lots of park on the air stuff. And I would have done stuff with them had they ever came up this way, but the furthest north I've ever heard them is Gladiolus. So I'm going to do POTA too. I once I get ready to go mobile, I'm going to be crazy mobile. And
Here, can I share my screen?
yes, absolutely. I would love to take my old van that I'm getting ready to trade in and keep it and make a radio van out of it and mount all my stuff in it.
I can't share because you're sharing.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot I was sharing. There we go.
All right, let me share this.
I'm gonna go back to 40.
So this was their little room inside of the building.
Very nice.
They have all the old radios. This one here in the middle works.
Collins.
Very
Yeah,
clean.
Collins stuff. Yeah, it was a lot of Collins. Can zoom in on this, can I? There we go.
That's a Collins transceiver.
So they had this was the main radio here that was hooked up to the hex beam, and I operated that for a little bit. Had a rotator. They had some more stuff on the side, which was kind of just set up for look, some really old stuff there. That was really cool.
I love the wood cabinets because that was back when it was important that a radio looked pretty.
Yeah.
It was a different era.
Well, it's weird because, like, see I should have taken a better picture of the actual.
Oh, look at
displays
that
here.
Oh, that's cool.
But these radios are all very styled, very weirdly. Not weirdly, but they're styled, and I think they're inspired by the vehicles, what they used to look like at the time period these radios were made.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Those
A
are
lot of the same sort of
40s,
themes.
50s, stuff like that.
They look like lunch boxes and stuff.
Go back and look at your first run of TVs, what they look like.
Oh
Yes.
yeah. So
There
this was
some
the main.
bizarre ass looking TVs back in the
Sure were.
50s.
That's crazy stuff. Little tiny tube, all black and white.
Yeah. I remember the one that had the box at the bottom, and then it had like the thing that come up, it looked like a tuba or something, and then there was the tube that stuck up like in a, you know what I'm talking about? It was a TV,
Yeah.
but it kind of looked like a musical instrument or something.
Yeah.
It was crazy.
They're this giant thing.
Oh, there you go. That's a cylinder
Phonograph.
record player. Yeah.
Yep.
That looks like one
Cylinder
of the
phonograph.
contraptions.
Anyway, they had everything set up. They had this table in the middle here. Then over down at the end here was a soldering station. I took this like at the end of the event. There were a lot more people here earlier on, but they did just such a great job with it. And then after they built one, they went outside with a really tall ladder and they hung one end of the antenna to that. And then they took an analyzer and they tested it and they came back in and they were like, all right, if you want this to work, you got to trim about a foot off the end. You know, they were being really active and just, they were doing really good.
I love it.
So that was just a really cool thing. But yeah, I want to bring a camera next time and at least show it around.
Do. Yes, please do. Just come in and let me know when you're there and we'll stop whatever. I won't plan anything really big. We'll do like a multi-part deal. And
I got there and every vehicle parked in front of this building had just giant ham antennas on it, which is a pretty big contrast to Fort Myers. Everyone's got these little they all had the little like short tiny ones on the corner. These guys all had their big old CB whips up. It was it was fun.
I don't get it, man. 300 members of the club and 12 of them show up for lunch and they don't talk about radios. Whatever. Okay.
Okay,
Let's see here.
I'm
What
ready
else?
to ask questions. Let me share my screen and then y'all can educate me.
All right, let's do it.
The print's still looking good. I can kind of see it from over here, but it looks,
Okay,
looks good.
all right. So I don't know how well y'all are hearing me because sometimes this thing craps out on me on my audio.
You sound good.
I was looking at y'all's or Ian's, your spectrogram thing up there looks totally different than mine. Yours, you had where these lines are here, yours were more spaced out. You didn't seem to have as long of a history. And then you didn't have all of this spectrograph down here at the bottom.
Yes, I do have that. I just don't like it, so I push it down below the screen so I don't see it. All I care about is the top 5 or 6 lines of history on the waterfall. I don't care about all the controls at the bottom. If you want to increase the amount of size on that line, I believe it's Ben Pixels. I think it's the very first one there.
Set hold on one second. You can set, let me tell you what. All right, set bin pixels to 4.
Oh, wrong direction.
Did you do, hold on, what did you set it to? Yeah, it should be at 4, but there's other settings.
Ben Pixels is how far it goes to the right.
So now change NAVG 5, change that to NAVG 1. That's the speed. Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, the bend pixels is how many kilohertz it shows to the right.
Trying to
The-
figure out
the
what does
start-
the.
Do you see where it says start?
Oh, there we
that-
go.
That one that says start is where it starts on the left. You could have it start at 100 or start at 0 or start at 500 if you want. I just have mine set at 100. I think it's the N average is the one that's going to set the length of time between the lines.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
So see, the lines are spaced out more, but it's moving faster.
right.
That's why the signals look weaker, because it's not accumulating as much as it goes down.
Okay, yeah. Set that N average down to a lower number, like 2 or 1, and that'll give you a nice long one.
All right, it was at 1.
Okay, yeah, the lines are a lot further apart now, see? You see how far they are apart now?
Yeah, but I'm not sure why. Like on the far right-hand side of the screen, it's like it stops at 5,000.
Yes, because your radio is only going to pick up 5,000 kilohertz. So what we need to do is change that bend pixel from 4 back to 3. And that should reorganize it now to where it should all fit all the way across now. There we go. That stretched it out. Now it fits all the way across. I still don't think it needs to be that high. I keep mine on 2, because anything past about 25 or 3,000 is unusable anyway. So you don't need between 3,000 and 4,000 up there. All you need is from 0 to 3,000. So yeah, there you go. Try that. That's how I have mine set right there. See, that's starting to look a little more like, now, can you change it to 40 instead of 20? Because there's not hardly anybody on 20 right now. Yeah, change it to, you don't have to transmit, but just change it to 40, to 074. And now you should see what we see. That's starting to look a lot more normal.
Yeah.
There we go. All right.
Now, the other things you can adjust on here, see the one that says default? If you pull that tab down, those are all your different color schemes. You'll probably like the default best. I've tried them all and I ended up back on default. But if you click a different one, it changes the color scheme.
What's this cumulative do for me?
Do what?
What does this cumulative tab do for me?
That has to do with that line thing at the bottom that I don't really use. That describes how that green line that you see, that it shows you whether it keeps moving each time or whether it shows you the peak and it builds up. Again, I don't use it. And then these sliders over here, I don't even remember what these sliders do, to be honest with you.
Those change the sensitivity of the waterfall, so it just kind of changes the contrast and contrast. Yeah. The bottom sliders change the height of the green line on the water, the other waterfall.
Yeah, your waterfall looks just like mine now. So that looks just about right.
All right. Call me.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Yeah.
Let's do
it.
I've got you over here in this thing over here. So if you call me, I should hear something. If I hear you.
And what's your call?
N4DDM.
N4DDM.
Yeah.
Okay. Generate STD messages.
All right. He's on this cycle. I'm on the next one.
See if we can get you.
All right, I'm trying now.
But we're awful close. So depending on
Yeah.
But now for field day, I was all over for winter field day. I was, on sideband, I was talking all over Florida.
Yeah, I made some good contacts on winter field day, but I was still feeling pretty crappy. And I ended up making like, I think 20 or 30 single sideband contacts, and I gave up. I'm done. I couldn't do it no more. I like field day because I like phone contacts. It's hard to find people to talk to on phone.
Well,
Oh, you heard me.
yeah, I heard you. I clicked on it. My TX is enabled, so I might reply.
All right. Let me see if I hear you.
Too big a jump from my laptop.
You're transmitting. Yeah, you're transmitting now. I'm still not hearing you.
And I might have to turn up something because my ALC is 0. Now, when I do WinLink, my ALC shows 2 or 3 little bits, but
Maybe that's why I'm not hearing you.
You may try bumping up that right slider a little bit on the WJXTX program.
Power.
The right slider, the power slider. That'll turn up the volume going into the radio, which in essence will also increase the power you're putting out.
so now that's giving me 4 or 5 little bars on my gizmo, my ALC.
I'm telling you what, FT8 is a lot about experimenting. Every little knob that you have that has volume in and out, every little thing, everything is experiment with it until you find the perfect combination of things. I'm happy with this. I'm seeing, every bit as much, if not more, than I was seeing before. So that's telling me that this sound card's doing good.
Now you're not hearing me anymore. Oh, wait, you are.
I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Yep, you're coming through. You're not hearing me. I've got you minus 19.
Guys, I'm gonna bow out. Pass my
All righty.
Thanks
All
a lot.
righty. All right, well, have a good one, Ken.
It was fun.
Yep, we'll catch you down the log, buddy.
All right. 73.
7 3s.
Yeah, I'm still not hearing you.
Here, try this.
Bring in one of your cats to do that.
There you go. I squeeze a cat and I got a contact from Texas.
Have y'all seen a 3D printer before? Like in action? I want to show y'all my 3D printer.
I would love to see your 3D printer. I've seen them on TV. It sound like an ass, but I've seen them work on TV.
Oh, yeah. Look at me. Oh, yeah. Okay. See if I can figure this out.
As seen on TV.
As seen on TV, y'all can't see the this is supposed to be an HT stand. It does not hold an HT. But
No, it looks like it would hold my tablet just fine.
Yeah, it would hold
Looks like it hold the KX3.
but this says the GARS, the Gwinnett Amateur Radio Society.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
This is a door prize.
Oh.
I'll be back. I'm going to take the headphones off for a second here. Go fix that camera.
I don't know how much it cost for this guy to make these, because that's a lot of that fiber.
Yeah, it is.
It is. It is.
It's like you set that thing up to start, and then you come back 3 days later,
I know.
and there's $60 worth of filament just gone.
Yeah.
These.
Well, when they can print me a new starter for my car or a pot roast with some potatoes, I'm very interested.
Well, I'll tell you what, my dentist has a 3D printer.
There you go.
And he printed a crown.
There y'all go. Y'all can see it. So y'all see the
Nice.
it's printing out.
Yeah, turn off the screen share here. Let me.
Yeah, give him the screen. Y'all don't need to keep watching mine.
There you go. Okay.
The that's the printer right there. So the bed moves back and forth, and then the extruder moves along the that's probably the Z coordinate, and then it'll also go up and down to make it taller.
Oh, I see. So the base does the x-axis, and then the head does the y-axis. Basically.
Yes. The head does the Y and Z.
Wow.
So it's slower than you might think it is from like seeing stuff in TV shows or whatever where they show a 3D printer. This print I'm doing is about 5 inches tall, and I have to break. So because of the bed size and because of the scale of the thing I'm printing, I had to cut my model into 4 pieces, and then I'm going to glue them back together. So this piece alone, it's probably about 5 by 5 by 5 cube. The volume wise, it's going to take around 22 hours to print this thing.
Yeah.
And it's been running for about 2 hours now. Well, it's been running for about 2 hours now. And you can see it's only made like a half centimeter. It's like 3 millimeters tall.
I hope you have that thing on a UPS, because if you have a power glitch, you're going to start over.
Oh yes, it's on a UPS for sure. But it is really, really good for all kind of stuff. I need to buy another one. The thing is, they're cheap too. This printer is $160.
What?
Yeah, $160 for that.
Damn.
You can get cheaper ones, but you can get one that's like $50, but it's like ultimate Chinese garbage, not even worth $1. This is about as low in price as you can go, and it still works fantastic. And it's a really well-known printer. It's called the Creality Ender 3. But I need to buy me another one of these because this one is kind of like the family printer, and so sometimes people mess with the settings and stuff, and I have to go and fix it. But they're cheap. The filament is cheap. You can buy a kilogram of filament for $20. And that will print you like a lot of stuff. A kilogram of filament will print you for, if you're printing smaller things, you can go months and months and months without needing a new spool. So it is really cool. You taking I just love the concept of taking a virtual object that you design in the computer and then making it into a real thing.
Actually printing it, yeah.
That's what it does.
Pretty cool stuff.
You can get other ones too that are more expensive and they go faster and they work differently. And they have like resin printers, so you can print with resin, which is like better for small detailed objects. But yeah, it's just pretty cool. Yeah, it's gonna take like 5 days to print this thing in its entirety.
Wow.
But
there's
okay.
plans on here. There's plans on here to build all the Star Trek props.
Oh yeah, anything you want. Although this thing didn't. This is another prop from a show, but it wasn't. It didn't have a file already, so that's why I had to make one. But yeah, there's. I almost printed a anemometer cups.
Yeah.
For like wind speed measurement. There's just ton. Yeah, so you look up whatever prop you want, and they'll have.
Here's an example.
There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
That one's already printed. Looks like. Oh no, you download it. Yeah. So you download that and you put the files in your printer. And there you go.
That's pretty darn cool, guys. I gotta tell you. That's pretty damn cool.
Yep. Takes a little bit of fiddling. It is a little bit annoying because the initial layer, when it makes the initial layer on the print bed, it has a tendency to give you all kind of problems. If it isn't leveled, if the bed is not leveled perfectly, Then you'll get areas where the filament doesn't stick to the board because it's not been pressed in properly. If it's too low, then the extruder will start grinding into the board, and you can ruin your board that way. If the temperatures are wrong, every filament brand and type has a different optimal temperature, and it's kind of up to you to figure out what works best. So they'll give you a guide, but it's usually pretty vague. So you kind of just have to try random temperatures.
Sure.
Like even this print, when I started it, the corners, like where it would make like the little window panels, you see the little triangle shapes. The ones on the front by the Creality logo were peeling up on the edge. They were coming off the print bed. Now I have it doing a lot of support on here because of the shape of the design, so it has to print a bunch of support. So it didn't matter as much. But if you're printing something small right on the board, that can kind of give you issues if it's not perfectly dialed in. So it's just a little bit finicky, but once you get it dialed in, it'll just kind of work flawlessly. You just put a file in there and print it, and it'll just go. And you can leave it too. Like if you have a long print, you just start it going and you can go to work. You don't have to sit there with it and just watch it. Although we still sometimes put a camera on it like there is now, and we'll remote in and see how it's doing. But yeah, they're fantastic, and they're so cheap now.
I can't believe how cheap they've gotten so fast.
Yeah, really.
These things were $10,000 just a few years ago when they first came out.
Oh yeah, $10,000. It was like we knew somebody who worked at a company that had a 3D printer, and we were like, "Whoa, you have a 3D printer?" Now they're like, I think this was like $260 when we got it. We put our money together and got it. And it was like $260, and now it's down to like 160, and that's even with the inflated prices and everything. So it doesn't get much better than that.
Very nice.
And you can even run this as a business. Like that file I made, that I spent, a week making that chariot file. I could sell that on like Thingiverse, which is a website where you download all kinds of stuff. I could sell that on there for like $5.
Yeah.
And people can make money that way by not just designing things, but you can also say, hey, if you want something printed, I'll make it and print it in case you don't own a printer. Like it can be a little side business kind of.
I could see you in a few years, you need a part for a radio or something, you just download the file and print it.
Well, yeah, exactly. Like that. I have an old handheld. It's another one of those Kenwood handhelds. The back of it is got a chipped out part. All I got to do is take a pair of calipers and just get some measurements of that back piece and recreate it in software and print it. And I can just screw it in like the original part and just continue on.
What's the QR code over on the left?
That just takes you to the web page where the printer is at. So it'll take you to like the manual, and
Oh, okay.
I think it takes you to the manual.
Cool. Yeah.
Man, I'm tired.
Yeah, me too.
I guess the printer will be printing all night.
Yep. It'll be printing all night and then all tomorrow until about 8:30 p.m.
Wow.
So they definitely take a lot of time.
But if you were making stuff with this and selling it, you could buy 10 of these. They're not that expensive. And each one needs a computer to run it, right?
No. You need one computer, and you just put the file on a micro SD card and just stick it in the machine, and it reads from the SD card.
Oh, so you don't even need a computer per machine.
No, you do. As long as you have a computer in the house, you're good to go.
So you could literally have a room with 50 of these in it, and they're all working at the same time all night long.
Yep. There are people that do that. There's one company called Prusa. Their printers are made from 3D printed parts. So they have an entire warehouse full of printers printing parts to make more printers.
Machines making machines.
I know, it's kind of scary.
That was a Terminator movies, man. Skynet, Google.
They're coming for you.
Google is Skynet.
Oh, I hope not.
Cue the dramatic music.
Dun, 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 dun.
Mexico and Romania. Let me see if I can get Romania. Hello, Breaker 19, Romania.
I thought you were gonna say Mexico and Romania are about to go to war or something.
That's what I thought too.
No, that's next week. That's next week. Anytime you get a weak president, we start getting all these wars popping up.
Yeah.
And China's getting ready to move on Taiwan after the Olympics, and North Korea's up to their normal crap. And yeah, let's not get into all that. Anyway, all right. Is there anything else before I shut down the YouTube stream?
Not that I know of.
No, I share my screen again, and then you can shut down YouTube. But I just did what I think I did while y'all were yakking. I actually think I did the first FT8 contact.
Well, there you go.
So
Sweet.
All right. Well, and on that note, let's go ahead and we're going to end the live stream. But hang around. We're going to stay on here for a few more minutes. But I'm going to end the live stream. Thank you, everybody, for watching out there on YouTube. We're on every Friday night at SWFLtech.net. And we'd love to see you next week. This is